All right. So, welcome back. Let's go fishing and see what we catch. So, there's one I know what I need to do real quick. Man, I am not feeling great today, which, happens. I am not feeling great, but the wife took me out and bought me some ribs, and I only ate like two of them. That's that's not like me. I'm really good at overeating when it comes to barbecue ribs. Well, I mean, you know, not really barbecue because, or maybe, what am I trying to say? I think what I'm trying to say is I don't eat sauce on my ribs. I like dry barbecue. Maybe it's because that's just kind of how we ate it as a kid. Big James, how you doing, bro? So went out, local barbecue joints open. We stopped in. I turned the charm on with the waitress. We got great service, and I just ordered ribs. The wife ordered pulled pork, and I ate like two ribs, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done." I ate something yesterday at some point that just, it happens, right? Just didn't settle with me. There's Shadow. What up, fool? Yeah, usually I can eat like three pigs worth of ribs, but today I ate like two bones. And then I was like, yeah, I'm getting this to go because George, my hero, I actually used one of your things as one of my video uh tags. I mean, you said I could, so I did, and I really liked it. I think it was the where Shadow and I are like inquisitors or something like that. Whatever it was, I dug it. I was like, that is really cool. What's crazy, Squirrel Hermit? Geesh, everybody's popping in and say, hey. Now Hungar's happy because he his copy of Valorous showed up, so he had to send me a message first thing and be like, my copy of Valorous showed up, bro. So I'm happy. At least his post office isn't completely ran by, I don't know, the mentally slow. And I shouldn't be like that, but I say that because, you know, I've been tracking a package. It was supposed to be here like last week, and it arrived in St. Cloud, my town. It arrived in town, and then they shipped it from my town to like another town where it's going through processing in this other town. And it's like, but it was already in the place it was supposed to be, right? And then a guy had ordered a bunch of stuff on Etsy from like a month ago, 2 months ago, actually. Um, I just went on and started canceling all my orders and asking for refunds. All right, I don't know who this is, so I should take it though. Sorry, guys. Is it going to let me take it? Hello? 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 Yeah, I don't really give a shit about my car's extended warranty. Big James, you're having a surgery? Man, that's not good. Zatarok, yeah. Yeah, that message I sent you just, I mean, obviously I can't say anything with any certainty, except I do know as a person who worked on a rescue for damn near their whole career, honestly. If you got her to the hospital and she was having cardiac issues, her chances of making a full recovery are incredibly high. You know what I mean? Incredibly high because it's just modern technology is so good that they can throw a bypass, a stent, whatever in you, and have you home in a couple of days. And like I've said before, I mean, you'll go home. These patients will go home a lot of times, and they'll feel better than they felt in years because whatever blockages they had that they've been living with will be gone. You know, um, unless you're really unlucky, like my brother, in which case, let's just pray she's not unlucky like my brother. But yes, anymore though, putting stents into a cardiac patient, that's like routine shit. It's almost outpatient, And bypasses are about the same thing. So while I'm not saying you shouldn't worry and pray, obviously you should. I'm just telling you though, as a person who is kind of familiar with the whole thing, it's generally it generally there's very good outcomes, generally speaking. Now, don't hold me to it. I'm not a doctor, etc. I'm just telling you in my experience. Yeah, generally the outcomes are good. So you know, so really what messes people up these days isn't so much cardiac, it's respiratory elements. Well, James Lowry, here's praying that God will look over you and, you know, lend his protection to you during this next surgery, and that hopefully you'll get to a point where you don't need them anymore. That would be nice, right? That would be pretty darn nice. So that is, I will say that for you. I mean, your boys had some surgeries in the past. You know that. I had to have my neck rebuilt. But even beyond that, a long time ago, I had a hernia repair, and that sucked. So but of course, when I had my hernia repair, it was crazy because the doctor's like, count backwards from 10, and I think I made it to like 8, and then I woke up in this room, and it was just like, all right, it was like, so that's how it works, huh? It was like they put me under, and yeah, next thing I know, I woke up and it was just like, okay. And they're like, yep, And they watched me for a little bit just to make sure that the anesthetic wasn't going to have any further effect. And then they gave me a big old bottle of Oxycontins and told me to go on home. And man, I was in a lot of pain, and my lower stomach looked like that somebody had installed a zipper in it because they used the staples. What's up, RPG Dad? So I'm like, oh man, right? And then freaking I took one of the oxys, and after that, when I got up, I threw all the oxys out because I will tell you what, no one should ever feel that way. And by that way, I mean that good. You know what I'm saying? And they'd give me plenty of oxys for like 2 weeks. Big old white pills that melted when you put them in your mouth. And yeah, I just sent you the link, my brother, from the same mother and father. But yeah, them oxys were too good, man. So I threw mine away. And to be honest, if I'd wanted to be a real scumbag, I could have sold those things and made a few $100 easy. But instead, they went in the toilet. That's where they went, right in the toilet. And after that, I just Tylenol and whatnot whenever the pain was so extreme, or ground my, I took Tylenol or whatever and just ground my teeth and dealt with it.
I took the oxy and it was too good. I take 40 milligrams a day, you wimp.
Yeah, that must be why you live in Tennessee, so you can fit in with all the other freaking hillbilly heroin fiends.
You know, Florida's the worst state for pill mills.
Not anymore, man. DeSantis got in and he just started throwing people in jail.
That's good.
So, that whole deal where, oh, here's another guy from the great Commonwealth of Methonia. What up, homie?
Hey,
But
Yeah, you got
yeah, Florida used to, people would drive from like as far as New York down to Florida to talk to a doctor because they knew the doctor would just write them a script for oxys, and then they would go back home and take all their oxys, right? Because they were junkies, and that was like,
oh,
and then
I'm the big boy now. You can sit in the corner and be quiet.
we're doing this again. But then when DeSantis got in, like one of the first things he did is
He got rid of the
down
pill
on
mill.
the pill mills. I don't know exactly the percentage. I seem to remember it was somewhere around 80. But for a while, 80% of every bit of the oxycodone that was being given
oh, there he goes again.
Yeah, I know in my case.
I mean,
I know in my case.
you know,
I go to the pain management doctor. I have to take my prescription. They count them to make sure I'm not abusing them.
yeah,
And I have to take a drug test. And they're only allowed to give, you're only allowed to have 4 pills a day. So I take a pill every 4 hours.
jeez,
And they really don't, or pill every 6 hours. And they really don't want it to go past 10 milligrams. They only go up higher, and like the worse you are. So
right,
I'm good.
yeah. So, yeah, hillbilly heroin.
I was about to say, James, you flushed down some oxys so that the Gators could get them.
Right?
Happy Gators, you see them on the street corner shaking.
Yes.
Got any of that stuff?
And that stuff. Hey, Coochie, how you doing, homie?
Where? Oh yeah, you streamed yesterday. I was out shopping. I saw you.
Yep. It was me, and I think PB, who might be RPG Dad. I'm not 100% sure.
No bear.
Well, Bear was on for a little bit, and we were kind of trolling a little bit back and forth. And I think he was just tired, and he decided to go take a nap or something.
Understandable. I'm in the process of doing that when I got your message.
Yeah. So
Hey, I wasn't eating though, because I ate earlier.
better than huffing gasoline. Damn, George.
I had hot and sour soup.
I had 2 bones of ribs. The wife ordered me a full rack. I ate 2 bones and was done.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't have 2 racks of ribs. I know how you are when it comes
Oh,
to ribs.
no, I had fried chicken
Oh,
yesterday.
nice. Well,
Day
aren't you
before I
just a
had-
walking stereotype? The guy from Kentucky with his fried freaking chicken.
Hey,
It's pretty good.
It's fried chicken day today for me too.
The day before I had ribs, which was some pretty tough ribs. I couldn't eat at all.
Oh, these ribs were freaking
I bought
amazing.
ribs and I smoked them for like 5 hours, and those things were like leather. I ended up having to boil them so they were edible.
Yeah.
Yeah, these ribs were amazing. I got them from Fat Boys.
You can't go wrong.
And but the problem was, one, the wife, you know how she is. By the time she got done with the salad bar salad she'd made, she was done.
Yeah.
And then so she had a whole damn plate of pulled pork and garlic bread. Because I gave her my garlic bread, because I'm like, I'm not eating the garlic bread. And like I said, I ate the ribs, and then I was just like, I ate a couple of ribs, and I was like, yeah, I guess I know what I'm going to eat for dinner later today because I'm done.
Air sandwich.
Sandwich.
Is that like
Yeah.
where you put pieces of bread together and eat it? Because we used to call those a wish sandwich. Get 2
Yeah.
pieces of bread and wish they had something in it.
Well, or grab a big slab of cornbread and wish you had something to go with it.
Yep.
There was a point where all I had for a lot of times was just rice.
We had a friend named Larry, and he used to eat like just egg noodles or any type of noodle. Like he would have hamburger helper without the hamburger. He just called it helper helper. And he would even sing him like helper 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 makes a great meal. And we're like, you're out your damn mind.
Yeah, that is.
And it turned out he was, because he got institutionalized and met the woman he ended up marrying in the institution. So you know that's going to be great.
You know,
And,
it's exciting, I bet you.
And lives somewhere not that far away from Squirrel.
Like I said before, give the crazy girl a chance. You know, those grippy socks.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, right? If you marry a girl with glasses, it's like you've got 2 girlfriends.
Yeah.
And if you marry a girl that wears makeup, when she takes the makeup off, you've got 3 girlfriends. And if you marry a girl that's crazy, well, then you just have an unlimited number of girlfriends.
Hey, calm waters never made great sailors. Give that girl from the institution on medication a chance, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if they had kids. I think I heard that they had. I do know that they decided he had to go to the institution when he claimed that the devil was telling him he needed to kill his dad and stuff. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, but he was a true bro.
I mean, he was cool with us, but I guess at some point something snapped. I mean, he was a true bro, but he was also kind of the creepy bro, because he was the bro that played like role-playing games by himself.
Yeah. But
And
when we
tell you
decided
whole stories about the outcomes of the role-playing games.
when we decided to run away when we were kids, though, who was with us?
Yeah, well, that's true. But yeah,
He was funny. We saw him riding a 3-wheel bicycle with a briefcase in the back of the basket of the three-wheel bike. And there's this preppy kid named Craig who wanted to hang out with us, so we told him he had to beat up a nerd. He ran up on Larry, and Larry had like glasses taped together, riding a three-wheel bike and all this
He
stuff.
looked like your atypical, skinny, greasy nerd. That's what he looked like.
Craig ran up and slapped him, and Larry came off that bicycle like a spider monkey. I'm telling you what, he put a
ass.
Whoop that boy. Like
he whipped that guy like he was being paid to do it. It was like, wow.
Because what we didn't know is Larry was a big Bruce Lee fan.
Oh, remember when Larry and Brandon every day on our way home from school they'd fist fight by the canal?
Throw each other in the freaking canal, all kinds of stuff.
And these guys, they hung out with each other for years, and they literally fist fought like every day. And then I'd have to jump in and be like, "You two stop that shit." And I mean, I don't know what it was between the two of them, boy, but they just.
And yeah, it's that time of the day again.
It's that time of the day. We're halfway home from school because it's like a 1.5 mile walk from school. And back then, you know how today, if you live more than like a block and a half, they send a bus? Not back then. If you weren't like further than like 5 miles or some shit, your ass was walking. So, and we'd get in all sorts of trouble on our way walking to school.
I think that's probably why we didn't make it to school a lot.
Well, yeah, we'd get like lost in the woods and just stay there. But anyway, one of the traditions was that at some point, Brandon and Larry were 100% going to throw down. It was just going to happen, right? It was like as normal as the sun rising and setting in a day.
Yeah, my Valor's book is fine, Shadwell.
Yeah, Shadow got one of the, I guess, missized ones or whatever with the cover.
Hey, keep it. That'd be a collector's item.
That's what I said. But, yep, good time. So, Timmy.
Yep.
Why have you not told me about something that has gone on in your game yet?
Well, I haven't played a new game yet.
Oh, okay. Because usually you're like, so guess what happened in my game? And I'm like, I don't know what. But this time you didn't. So I was like.
Yeah, since last Monday, I haven't played another game. I mean, I'm waiting until this Monday. Then there's the game on Saturday. Next Saturday, not this Saturday.
Oh, and if anybody goes to my Discord and they're all like freaked out about it, I just changed the picture.
You changed the picture and the name of the Discord.
And the name. I mean, to be a little bit more reflective of what I'm doing right now.
That's fair. I mean, it confused me for a second.
At some point.
I saw the picture and I was like, what's this Discord? And then I'm like, oh, wait, that's James.
Beyond the North Wind.
Yep.
So,
because according to like all of the old Thulian cultists and all that used to believe in Agartha and Hyperborea, it was a very warm, temperate continent that was peopled by beautiful, tall, blonde people. And it was what is now the North Pole. And it was surrounded by these winds that kept the frigid air from getting in, right? And at some point it sank, pretty much like Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis, etc., right? Except in this game setting, what happened is instead of it sinking, it got transported into orbit around Saturn.
Hey, Jay. I'm putting something in your memes channel that you'll need to see real quick.
Well, I'll see it.
It'll. It's a very Hungar thing. I could see Hungar in this picture.
So it's food.
No.
Ladyboy. Satya,
no.
How you doing?
It's Santa
Shadow
Claus
game last night. I was looking for your game, Shadow, and I couldn't find it, and then I fell asleep. Solo Cthulhu games. I do that, but it's because I bought the books that are actually designed to be played solo. So, I mean, that's okay. No, this guy, we should have knew there was something up because every single character he ever made was named Bruce, and then the last name would be one syllable starting with an L. So Bruce Lee, Bruce Lie, Bruce Lowe, Bruce Lou, Bruce, whatever. It was always Bruce something. And yeah, no matter how much his characters died or whatever, he was always Bruce. And it was just like
he was doing the clones of Bruce Lee.
Hold on, guys.
Sorry.
That picture's awesome. And Dungeon Crawl Carl is awesome too.
Yes. I haven't read the Dungeon Crawler Carl books. I've listened to the audiobooks though. And Coochie, the best character in the book is the cat. Princess, Fluffy, frickin' Sprinkles, whatever. Yeah. The cat is absolutely the best.
Bruce Lombardo.
Bruce of the Lombards. Bruce of the Hill People. Oh, so OG played in the Savage Sword game with Shadow? Yeah, damn it. I wanted to see that so bad. But like I said, I was feeling run down yesterday, and I went and laid down in the bedroom, and I started looking in my YouTube thing, and I couldn't find anything. And I'm like, okay, where's Shadow's channel? Where's Bear's channel? I started wondering if people had just deleted their freaking channels, right? And then I fell asleep because, that happened.
I thought you said you were going to Platte City yesterday.
Yeah, well, when I woke up this morning, I wasn't feeling great. And there's no way we're going to risk infecting my father-in-law with some cooties if I had any cooties, which I didn't. I have no cooties. I was just... I ate something and it didn't settle right with me, when you get older.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it was on Discord. Well,
yeah,
color retarded. That's probably why I couldn't find it then.
I think Bear deleted his channel.
I don't know. From what I understand, and I don't know if it's true or not. Damn, I just got gold paint all over my 100th anniversary fire department shirt.
You have a bib for that.
I do, and I need to put it on. Plus, my wife thinks I'm adorable when I wear my bib because she says I remind her of like a dwarven warrior or something. And I didn't know she had a fetish for dwarf warriors, but hey, I'll run with that. You know what I'm saying? I'll start talking weird and drinking mead. Of course, definitely not Hyborian dwarves since they're a bunch of SA fans. He started a new Discord. Well, like I said, someone who knows him a bit said that occasionally he will just start over, and he logged on to my channel, and I could tell that there was something up, but I thought maybe he was just tired or sleepy or something. But he was a little grumpy, but me, I'm like, whatever, right? I don't let that kind of stuff get me down. And he and I were debating about something, Irish mythology or something. And PB said something, and that kind of pissed him off. And like I said when I talked about yesterday, I get it. I totally get it. No one likes to be like ganged up on. But I don't think that PB was, ganging up on him. But I guess that's how he took it. And, there's nothing I can do about it. So if he did, in fact, delete his channel and decided that he and I aren't friends anymore, I would find that to be very sad. But I mean, I have no control over that. Oh, it was because I was talking about Irish mythology, and he was all like, well, how do you know anything? And I was like, well, the monks wrote about it. He's like, well, how do you know
Yep. There goes James again.
they weren't lying? And
Come on.
he's like, well, that's not in the Bible. It does say about, false witness and, telling lies and stuff and how you're not supposed to do it. Right. And then he got frustrated with me, and he was all like, you know what? Never mind. You win, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to win. It's not like that, And then PB said something, and he just was like, you know what? I'm just going to go do something else, take a nap or something. And in my mind, I never thought anything of it. I never thought anything of it because I thought, well, maybe he just woke up. He was tired. Because, I mean, we all do, right? Well, and I can't be like critical of him deleting everything off his channel because because I deleted everything on my channel when I felt like, away.
Yep.
But I'm going to start like making actual new gaming videos instead of live streams. Specifically, I'm going to do a deep dive into Hyperborea. And one thing, somebody pointed out that it seems like Hyperborea, no one talked about, and then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks ago, everyone was talking about, right? And they're right, because a couple weeks ago, I typed in Savage Swords and Sorcery of Hyperborea, and there was like 2 channels. Last night, I typed that shit in, and it was just like nonstop.
Off the wall everywhere, huh?
Wall to wall, and all within the last week. So I don't know if something got in the water or something, but all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, let's talk about some Hyperborea over here real quick, and which I'm 100% cool with. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it. What's up? But it is kind of funny how the game went from like no one hardly talking about it at all to
everyone just now wanting to talk about it.
Everyone's talking about it. If I'm up, Shadow, because you have to remember a lot of your streams are very late for me, If I'm up, I'll drop in. I mean, I'm not saying hold the door for me, but if I'm up, I'll drop in. And if you want me to, I'm gonna change that. Hungar can back me up. I've always loved genre mixing, which is why I played Shadowrun 1st and 2nd edition for damn near a decade. That used to be the big thing. Like Saturday nights, Hungar, me, and 12 of our closest associates, at least, we would all get together in the trailer park and we would play Shadowrun. And we started at 1st edition, and then we moved to 2nd edition because it clarified a lot of the weapon stats and everything like that. We never really moved on, right? We just kept 2nd edition, which in my opinion, best edition. But yeah, I was getting ready to say, I don't know how. I had a friend who absolutely had, I still have, I assume he's still alive. I mean, he moved out into the mountains of freaking Virginia or Tennessee or something somewhere. And he's living off the grid with his dog. And so I hope he's still alive. Yes. But he absolutely despised the idea of genre mixing. Like, he would not play Shadowrun. He plays Cyberpunk, though. Actually, he ran Cyberpunk for me, but I also, go ahead. Go
To
ahead.
be fair, I think I would prefer Shadowpunk over Cyberpunk over the other one,
Shadowrun?
Shadowrun. I was wanting to mix Shadowrun and Cyberpunk for some reason. Like, I wanted to
Yeah,
call it
I've been wanting
Shadowpunk
to mix those two forever. I would take the rules from Cyberpunk,
and use the lore and setting
but
of
use the lore and setting
Shadowrun.
and everything from Shadowrun. Because I mean, Shadowrun, even the second edition rules, which I like, suck. You know, they're still not good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things, again, it's like I said about GW the other day. They accidentally created a great setting, but they can't make a decent set of mechanics to go with it to save their damn lives. So, I mean, 40K or fantasy. Now, this Epic game's really fun. It's quick. It's better. It has alternating turns and all that. So it's really like high tech compared to almost everything else that Games Workshop does. But Shadowrun, man, if there was a way to use the Artauserian rules, you know, the dice 10, dice 6 thing, but the setting for Shadowrun Seattle 2072, say, that shit would be great. And well, PB, I mean, you and I both know I can totally geek out for an hour about L5R. L5R is one of the least played games that should actually be played. I can think of, you know, it's like when you have a favorite band and you think that band is super awesome, but no one else likes it. I mean, Shadow knows what I'm talking about. Well, that's what L5R actually is, except unlike what I'm talking about with Shadow, which is he's just being a hipster for hipster reasons. L5R is actually a good game. It is a great game, dare I say. The rules are super easy. The setting is amazing. All you need to do is to be a little bit of a weeb, and you're going to have the best time ever in L5R, you know? Which I guess when it comes to Legend of the Five Rings, I'm a bit of a weeb. I still have literally boxes of the old cards. You know, unopened boxes even. Some of them are still in the shrink wrap.
Talking about genre mixing, though, one of my favorite games was actually kind of a genre mix. Kind of like a modern magic punk fantasy.
Yeah, well, the thing that some people who play D&D, but they hate the idea of genre mixing, it's like, well, I guess you didn't know. Obviously, those people didn't play in the world of Greyhawk. Because in the world of Greyhawk, there is a crashed starship in the Barrier Peaks. There is a egg of Coot, whatever the hell that is, up north near Blackmoor. And then beyond the black ice, there's a whole city dominated and ran by androids and robots and shit like that. Right? And so Gygax apparently himself had exactly zero problems with genre mixing. I mean, and I guess Arneson didn't either.
Yeah.
I don't know as much about Arneson, so I can't say as much about what Arneson may or may not have thought. But so to a degree with AD&D, genre mixing has always been in the mix. It's always been a part of the game. So, you know, there's that. Talislanta, one of my favorite games and settings of all time, is a genre mixing game. As a matter of fact, in Talislanta, you can actually play, if you so choose, an android. You can play a robot, you know?
Yeah.
You can have a weird scientifically powered airship, and, you know, there's all these things you can do. Vic the Scourge. What is up, my friend Vic the Scourge? How you doing, good sir?
Hey, what's
Hey,
going
Vic.
on?
What are you doing?
Oh God, just got done changing my oil in my pickup truck. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a bitch, and it turned out to be really easy. I was like, oh,
I'm pretty happy about that, my love. What kind?
at least I didn't. Let's put it this way: I didn't have to jack the truck up so high that I had to, you know what I mean, and crawl underneath it. So I was like, all right, this is,
It does.
you know,
Yeah, my wife is warning that she is going to make some peanut butter cookies.
oh, she was making
Nice.
peanut butter cookies.
Peanut butter cookies.
Well,
Apparently, this new recipe she's got, you put Rice Krispies in the cookie mix,
interesting.
and it's an older '70s style recipe. And the Rice Krispies in the cookie mix are supposed to make the cookies a lot more fluffy and crunchy, and yeah.
I tell her to send me some, but I'm not a peanut butter guy. I'm not a cooked peanut butter guy. Let's just say I like peanut butter sandwiches, but I'm not a cooked peanut
Nice.
butter guy.
The sun is coming out, but see, here is a great edition of the game. I have a lot of these books. It's AEG 4th edition, which takes it back to like 1st edition, except gives you a bunch of options. This is, I mean, the art and everything in this book is just absolutely, get the sun out of the way, absolutely amazing. You know, you
Yeah,
got
that looks nice.
the Scorpion Clan lady who may or may not be a ninja or a shugenja or something. You don't know.
I have a I'm making my world, you know, your world building, and slowly I'm adding pieces to it, like different things. And I have a Sisters of Piety or something like that are actually assassins in disguise. That during the day they sit there and tend to the homeless and blah blah blah, but at night, if you know the secrets, oh yeah. I'm contemplating bringing Sandy Peterson into Dave Con. He told me what his price was, and I'm just sort of, yeah. Do I bring him Sandy Peterson in?
Well,
He's a cool
those
dude.
guys that were talking about playing solo games, Call of Cthulhu has
Solo play rules.
multiple adventures that were actually designed to be played solo.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. They're almost like choose your own adventure games, except you roll dice and your character could go insane and die. So yeah, you know, what is blocking the thing from starting? The old Traveler starter set
Oh, that's nice.
for yeah. I gotta get these books that don't want to stand up so the door will shut. But I also see I showed off 4th edition. I have every edition of L5R. And of course, I despise the last edition because it uses proprietary dice with like freaking.
Oh, I hate proprietary dice. I don't mind.
I'm not a fan of that.
I don't mind them in the fact that I can use them in any game. Meaning like if they're 1 through a 7-sided die or 5-sided die or something like that, I don't mind it. But when they start putting symbols and other crap,
yeah, it's a die 6 and a die 12, and they have blank faces, and then they have lotuses, and then they have so it's like the Star Wars dice, except instead of having a shit ton of dice in the Star Wars game, in the L5R game they narrowed it down to just a few.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm like, why didn't you just make this game a die 10 game and throw some die 10s in there? You know, I mean,
well,
but whatever. They did.
You know what? Part of that is what do they call that? It's called sales. You know, somebody probably convinced them, oh, you should do it for sales. You know what I'm saying? Or just No.
Well, it probably worked, and the game, the game is beautiful. The Fantasy Flight or whatever game, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, the art is amazing. Everything about it is just really good. But unfortunately, it uses those weird dice, and I don't care for that. Yeah, the good news though about 2 die 20 is because the Conan 2 die 20 game I have up here, and I love it. They give you like a chart that tells you what you can use just normal dice. Like 1 is 1 damage, 2 is 2 damage, 3 and 4 is a miss, 5 is 1 damage and an effect. So if your weapon has an effect like bleed or something, and like 6 is 2 damage and an effect or something. So I mean, it's now I did buy a bunch of the proprietary dice just because I'm a completist like that. But the game does not demand you use them. You do not have to use their dice. You can just you know, do your own thing. And so yeah. At least that's I have Conan 2 die 20. I have Star Wars 2 die 20. Or not Star Wars, Star Trek. And yeah, you can just play with die 20s and die 6s. So what's funny, and by funny, I mean it's not actually funny, but it is an oddity, is that Twilight 4th Edition by Free League does not use the Free League house system at all. Because the Free League house system is roll a shit ton of die 6s, and as long as you get 1 6, then you succeed, right? Barely. You want more 6s, right? But anything that's not a 6 is basically get F'd in the A, right? But in Twilight 2000 4th Edition, your stats go from, believe it or not, die 4 up to like die 12. And so what you do is you roll your stat plus skill die, and you want something above a 4, and then every increment of 4 beyond that is like a boost. So if you roll a die 12 and you rolled a 12, well, that's going to be like 3 successes right off the bat just on that die 12. And that means that not only did you hit your target, but with most weapons, you did crit damage. At which point you roll on a chart to see if you blew an arm or a leg off or something like that.
I don't mind. I have a die. I don't know if I do. I have one right here. I have hand one handy. Now, I've been using this more lately. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, let's see. It's just a. Let's see if I can. There you go. It's just where the hits hit on a body. So it's
yeah. I have one of those, but it's a D12. Is that a D12?
No, it's a D10.
Yeah, mine's a D12.
And I use it where combat. I use it for narrative. I just like, oh, he hit you in the left arm, or he bit you in the left arm. Now you can't use that arm. Are you left or right-handed? Oh, I'm left-handed. Well, you're now fighting at a -2. You know.
And then the 2 die 20 dice from Modiphius for Conan, they actually have a die 20 that has all the hit locations, because in the Conan role-playing game, when you attack somebody, where you hit them is actually important, because the armor only, if you're wearing a leather jacket, well, that covers your torso. So if somebody smacks you in the head and you're not wearing a helmet, well, guess what?
Yeah.
You just got smacked in the head. So that's a thing. So I've got the 1 die 20 hit location die, and then I've just got a standard, I think, chessex die 12 die that's got like arm, left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg, abdomen, chest, head, however like that. So,
Yeah.
Luckily, the games I play for the most part don't actually require me worrying too much about uh, specific hit locations. But Twilight 2000 definitely does. And again, for the same reason, a starting U.S. combat soldier starts out with a Kevlar vest and a Kevlar helmet, K-pot, and those absorb an amount of damage, right?
Yeah.
But if you get shot in the leg, well, guess what? You ain't got any Kevlar on your leg, so you're just eating it, you know?
Well,
Or
unless
the
you
arm or
unless you've
wherever.
got some type of body armor. I mean, full body armor.
Yeah, which I don't know. That might be actually a thing you could get in Twilight 2000. Like if you found like the dead body of a demo guy.
Yeah.
But the problem is, who would want to run around a battlefield wearing that big suit?
Well, that's true.
Especially since it's not going to stop a 12.7 or 50 cal. That's going to go right through your ass. So you're running around in that big suit, and you might be like, yeah, 7.62 can't mess with me. But you know what's mounted on the top of literally every vehicle? A 12.7 or a 50 cal, which is basically identical weapon. And that thing will go through you and through all your friends too. And won't even slow down until it hits like the next oblast or county, city, whatever. Oblast is the Russian word for a political, like a state. It's a state, an oblast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, anyways.
Well, Sandy Peterson, I don't know. It depends on how much he wants. I know he's got to fly from Utah.
No, he's got flying for. He lives in Dallas area.
Does he? I thought he lived in Utah.
It said last time I checked, it was Dallas, Texas area. So,
Well, that's a little closer anyway, or actually probably not.
Well, I got to just check on.
It's like it's a little closer easterly, but it's way further southerly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. He asked. I will admit this, and just to be straight up front with everybody. When people ask, they say, "I want to come to your convention." Well, okay. You know what? I have certain budgetary things I have to deal with, right? And yes, I can bring people in and send them out and everything else, but when they start asking for all their meals paid for and everything else, I mean, basically it's a vacation for them. I'm just like, because I mean, I've had Ernie Gygax come in for far less, you know what I mean? And people with better name recognition. So,
well, one thing about Ernie though is he was, in it for love of the game.
Yeah.
So there was that.
I'm comparing. I guess I'm sitting there looking at it like, it's one thing to give a ticket away to somebody, and it's another thing to say, oh, I want to just come to your convention for free. You got to fly me in. You got to pay for all my meals. You got to do this, and frankly, your name recognition isn't as great as somebody, let's say, Gary Gygax, or you know what I'm saying. I have that problem. Yeah. I mean,
now, unfortunately, I don't know the name of any of the people. You need Satine Phoenix. Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to her. I just don't know.
Last I heard, she was out speaking or something like that.
Off grid, the rainbow flag in the Siberian Oblast is like the almost predominantly Jewish oblast. It still exists in Siberia. Like the vast majority of the population of that place is Jewish in ethnicity or religion. And yes, their actual flag for their state has a rainbow on it. But I think it doesn't mean what Americans think it means, Like Putin passed a thing where instead of forcing all the people in all of Russia to speak Russian, in your home oblast, you could speak whatever your native language was. So like the Yakut and all those other native people, they're pretty happy about that because yes, they still learn Russian in school, but yeah, wink, wink. They still learn Russian in school, but they can legally run all of the business of the oblast in their native language if that's what they want to do. So,
Well, if you want to know what happened to Satine Phoenix, she's become
yeah,
private coach. She's private coaching for high functioning adults navigating burnout, life pivots, and midlife transitions. Heal deeply, build new habits, and unlock your new chapter for clarity, vitality, and self-trust. That's her now. That's what
Sounds
it says.
gay.
That's what it
well,
says.
I don't even know what that sounds like.
It sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook is what it sounds like to me.
It's like, okay, so you're a therapist. Do you have a license to be a therapist, or are you just making shit up?
I thought that's what therapists did.
Yeah, that's kind of what therapists do too. I mean, I like my therapist a lot, but she and I both know her only purpose is to listen to me vent about shit that I don't want to vent to anyone else about. Because I don't give a shit what her opinion of me is. So that's what makes it so awesome, right? Like
Yeah.
I can vent about all the shit that I would never want to tell a family member or something. And but that's all she does. That's literally her whole job is to sit there and listen to me bitch for an hour. Now I will say this, I always feel better when I leave. You know, but obviously because I've spent an hour bitching about every little thing I've been raged about. Yeah, I got that.
There goes James's internet again.
Yep. Now we can really talk about him. He's looking at us going, "Oh, what are they saying about me?"
Yeah,
I can hear you guys.
it froze up on our end.
Yeah.
For a bit. Okay. But anyway, so that's basically it. I mean, I don't know that they actually deserve like to have to get a degree to do that. It seems like pretty much anyone could just like Lucy from the freaking Peanuts could sit there and be like, you know, give me a nickel. I'll listen at you bitch for a while, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I was looking at that thing for Florida and you know, for therapists and this and that and how they got to be licensed. And I'm like, why doesn't just somebody call themselves a life coach instead of a therapist every time? And then they can get away with it. They could just say life coach on the side on this thing and never say they're a therapist. You know?
Well, obviously that's, I guess, what Satine is doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Satine not paying contractors. I do know
I don't even want to go down
that at some point she got a tattoo. Well, she didn't. The guy she was with did. And he didn't want to pay for it. And that blew up and turned into like, you know, just 9 levels of hell right there. You know?
Yeah, Jameson.
People were super pissed off. But I talked to her a few times when Twitter was Twitter, and she was always really cool to me.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the people involved with that set were not. So, you know, like our beloved president, I tend to be like fond of people who glaze me a little bit.
Yeah.
And not fond of people who talk shit. I mean, that's one thing me and Trump got in common. If you talk all super nice about me, I'll be like, oh yeah, I love that. But if you start running your yap, then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't like you.
Hey,
But,
did you see what Trump did? He said in the Twitter thing about the Somalis.
Yeah, start deporting their ass.
I'm like, well, gee, you're going to have to call out the National Guard now, Trump, for that one for sure.
Well, guess what? It's not like he's afraid to do exactly that.
Well, I know, but I'm just like, their TPS expires in March. You know, the temporary protected status.
Yeah.
It officially expires in March. And
get them out of there.
They can just say, we're not extending it, period. So
Make
I mean,
Minnesota again instead of Mogadishu.
I don't know.
That's the stupidest shit ever is when they say, okay, we've got 500 tribesmen. They're all of the same tribe, religion, etc. And let's dump them in the middle of a little cornbread town in the Midwest. That'll work out. And then it's like Dearborn, you know, where you get woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning because of the call to prayer and shit. And it's like, and like I pointed out to a lot of people don't know this, but it was against the law for Muslims to even hold political office in America until the 80s.
Huh. Didn't know
We should bring that back.
Yeah, that was a bipartisan law that got passed by the you know.
They'll just lie. Come on, we all know they'll just lie about their religious. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know. But
well, I'd be more comfortable if they lied.
Yeah,
they're lying anyway. But the thing is, according to Tukia, which is I think it's Tukia.
I thought it was pronounced Takia.
You guys,
I'm not
okay, Misha. I start calling you Little Bear. According to the Quran and the Hadiths, right? There's a bit of wisdom which says when you move into an area, right? When you are weak, you obey all the laws and et cetera, right? And then when you eventually become strong, you enforce the Sharia.
Yeah, well.
And that's literally part of the religion. The problem with Islam, other than the fact that they're Satanists, is, demon worshippers for sure, maybe not Satan specifically, is that their religion is more than a religion. It's a political ideology. It comes with a guide on exactly how the government should work, how the legal system should work, etc. And it's pronounced Taco Tuesday. And, you know, Western civilizations who fought for hundreds of years to keep those assholes out are now just inviting them in and rolling over.
Well,
it's really a shame. It's really a shame. I mean,
there's a very easy. Oh, sorry, go on.
I mean, well, I was just going to say, we right now are dishonoring the memory of our Crusader ancestors, people like King Baldwin, etc., because everything they sacrificed blood and sweat and tears for to protect, we're just giving it away.
Not to mention our own American ancestors.
Oh, not the planet Tukia, but I do love the fact that you got that, PB. Even though I don't ever play Battletech in any era past 2025 or 3025. I am a Succession Wars guy.
But here's the thing: we could make an easy test for that religion specifically.
Yeah, just hand them some bacon.
Yeah.
Which apparently is, and I don't want to stay on a political topic too much longer, but it is apparently the whole like new popular prank in Sweden is to put slices of American style bacon inside of crayons. It's like, really? That is effed up, because then they can't use that book. It's done, you know? Here's how you know it's bad, though, guys, is, and this is something you can look up. It comes from occultism and everything. The black cube represents originally Baal, but also later Saturn And then later after Saturn, well, no, not Saturn. It's Baal, then Hades for the Greeks, the Hellenistic group, and then Saturn for the Latins. So the Kaaba, which is again a perfect black cube, that's 100% like in occultism, the Bible, wherever, a demonic symbol associated with Saturn. And they did have a temple or a statue of Baal in the Kaaba before they got rid of all the, it's 100% like, and you know, like our prophets, those of you who are Christian, warned that there would be false prophets that would say, you know, they would claim that an angel from heaven had come down and given them a new doctrine, but don't believe them because they're trying to lead you astray, right? That's what our Bible says. And I'll be damned if the Quran doesn't say that Muhammad went into a cave and an angel from heaven came down, supposedly Gabriel, and gave him all this new doctrine. So pretty much everything the apostles and prophets warned us about, actually the Quran describes, you know, it's like, okay, whatever. So, right. And yeah. But anyway, so I'm going to be for my home group running. And this actually kind of dovetails in, guys. So if you stuck through all that diatribe, it wasn't for nothing. I'm going to be running Hyperborea.
Hyboria?
Hey, geez, you freaking grammar / speech Yahtzees.
Actually, Vic, it's Hyperborea.
I say it the way I want. How about that? I'm the DM. I say what I want. I see. The thing is, you're probably right in the common language, but I'm speaking the actual ancient Hyperborean language.
Yep.
Say, Bruce, you said, did someone summon me? And then I put the link up and you just...
It didn't come in.
And Shadow dropped in and talked some shit for a minute and then never joined either. I can understand with Shadow, though. Maybe he's afraid if he joined the stream that our meme guy is going to meme the shit out of him again. You know.
Hey, maybe this time we'll have some Vic ones.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know if he can meme you because you barely ever show yourself on screen anymore. So
I can't help it. I still don't have a camera.
Sure,
Discord wouldn't be really possible off grid because I have 2, possibly 3 players that are computer in to the game out of 8 players. So mostly 5 players are live at my table. And then my brother,
from another mother,
my brother has to use the computer and his internet sucks ass. And my brother-in-law, who lives up in Georgia, he likes to log on to the computer, and him and his wife sit together on one screen talking my ear off sometimes. Actually, my brother-in-law barely says anything. I usually have to get on him and be like, hey, where are you? Come on now. And then the friend I told you guys that had recently contracted cancer is going through chemotherapy. He can't leave his house because he has no immune system, but he still wants to play. So I would have 3 people on, and I'll be honest with you. I would rather have none on if it were up to me. I don't like playing over computer. I don't like it. I feel like the guys on the computer are not getting the full game. You know what I mean? Because they can't see when I'm walking around. They, you know, maybe they don't hear me so well, especially Hungar when he's bouncing in and out like a freaking, you know, cranked up freaking Datsun. And it's like, you know, it's just not the same as it is with the people who are sitting at my table. Well, hopefully, Off-Grid Gamer, one of these days, because I've been fighting it and my wife has really been putting in work to break me of my agoraphobia. Hopefully, one of these days we'll end up at the same con together, and I'll buy you a beer.
Dave
And
Con.
I would love it. You know what my wife said? She said she would drop my ass off at ORMC or Orlando Airport.
That's right. And I'll take
Because
care
we've
of you
got
when
the
you get
Orlando
here.
Regional Airport. It's 25 minutes away.
I will take care of you when you get here.
And so the wife is okay with me vanishing for a couple of days. Of course, I wish she would come with me, but she's not as interesting in gaming as I am.
Well, we have the Mall of America. We should send her to Prince Museum. We could send her to all kinds of stuff.
Museums she likes. She is a woman of culture.
Well, we'll send her to the museum then.
That reminds me, I need to sometimes go to the Tank Museum.
Yeah. Or if Canada and America ever decide to be best buds again, I'd love to go hang out with the Padre, Aaron, and hang out with those guys. I would absolutely love to go to like a Gary Con or something like that. The one
you would not like Gary Con at all. Too many.
Well, then the other one.
Which one?
There's two of them there, right? One of them was more Ernie, and the other was more Luke.
Luke is Gary Con. Egg Con is Heidi and.
Yep, poor Bruce. I mean,
come up to Dave Con. It's small enough that you're going to enjoy it. You want 2,000 people? Go to those other ones because that's what they're going to be like.
That's
your choice.
Yeah, I don't want 2,000 people for sure.
Yeah, well, that's Dave Con or not Dave Con. Gary
Con.
Gary Con is 2,000 plus people.
There's another con that I was like kind of looking at too that I was like, now I forget the name of it offhand.
Game Hole,
yeah.
Game Hole's 2,000 people, 5E.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the 5E bullshit.
They go read it. Go read their mission statement. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, if I ever get to where I just start traveling around, because really it's my insecurity stopping me, not money. It's like I have to go visit Venger at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe I can convince him to stop talking all that Cthulhu shit and join the Orthodox Church. That'd be good. Yeah, I don't even know if he remembers, but he invited me to his house to have like a smoked pork butt and hang out. I was like, really? Okay. I mean, but he and I have been on the same side of many arguments over the last 2 decades on Twitter, now X.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think, because this is a guy that literally thinks Cthulhu, is a thing. And I think he's funny for thinking that, but in every other way, he and I are like right in sync politically, game wise, I mean, yeah. I like Venger a lot.
Timing's everything, man.
Well, okay, PB, you tend to know the news. Better than I do. Which con was it that they got super mad about because there were like advertisements for VengerCon at the con?
That's Game Hole.
Yeah, so I don't want to go to Game Hole then.
Yeah, Game Hole's the one where they threw Venger was out in the parking lot, or somebody was out in the parking lot leaving stuff underneath the windshields of
Yeah, and they got all super pissed about it, and it's like,
Yeah.
really, guys? I don't want any part of that then, because if they got pissed over that, that's not my scene. I don't need to be there. So I was watching this video, and it was this guy, and he's basically just showing ways to like make your wife leave you. Like there's one where he walks into his wife and he gives her like a card and some helium balloons and everything. And when she opens the card up, it's like congratulations on your pregnancy.
Oh God.
And the wife's like, but I'm not pregnant. And he's like, are you sure? And then he walks away to like some gangster ass music, but you see her grabbing something to throw at his head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then the one where he walks up and sprays her on the chest with this stuff, and she's like, why'd you do that? And he said, it says spray flat surfaces. And he just turns and starts walking away.
Oh yeah, I know. And he gets the pan or whatever
He
thrown at
chucks
him.
a pan at his head. Yeah, it's like, okay, first off, you know, spousal abuse isn't funny, but his jokes are. I would never do them though. Like, I'm not worried about my spouse abusing me while I'm awake. It's while I'm asleep that I would worry about. You know, you need those. Well, I mean, you know, Bruce, I don't even have any advice for you, man. I told you everything I could tell you. My font of wisdom is now completely emptied.
Your font of wisdom's empty.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Diversity and Dragons, but I wasn't 100% sure. Like, you know, and I can imagine like Venger ripping up to the freaking parking lot of that con in like a van with a dragon painted on the side of it, you know, and just jumping out and throwing his flyers all over the place. And it's like, the thing that I'm most tweaked about, I guess, is that well, that's an unfortunate word to use with Bruce in the chat. But the thing that kind of I don't understand is why do they give a shit? You walk out, there's some stupid shit. Not saying his invitations are stupid, but you know, we've all been there. You've all parked somewhere and then walked out, and somebody shoved something under your freaking, you know, windshield wiper. And
No,
you
go to
wonder-
Wall Drug out in South Dakota and watch them put the bumper stickers on your goddamn car. You know,
right? You know, and you take it off, you crumble it up, you put it in your pocket till you can throw it away later or whatever you do. What you don't do is go online and act like a bitch, because then it makes the whole world think you're a bitch, and that's not helping anybody at all. Like nobody is helped by that. Like in every situation, these people would have been better off just keeping their freaking mouths shut and just dealing with it like an adult. But they seem incapable. You know? So, and as a result, all of us guys that are still that are cool with Venger had a great laugh. You're not in chat. I'm looking at chat. It's just me and Vic and Tim.
You know, here's my thing. Venger and everybody else, they do their thing. Everybody's got their way of advertising. Myself, I got bookmarks and posters and send out emails. Venger wanted to try something different. Well, guess what? Good for him. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. I mean,
that's that freaking, what do they call it? Like guerrilla marketing.
Right.
You know, when you show up and you just do your thing and whatever. And it's like, yeah, man. I mean, and if you got one of his little flyers and you aren't super happy about it, you throw it away.
Yeah, it's just like
oh, you're in the chat. Okay, I got you. I thought you had tried to join and I just missed the whole thing, which is possible. But yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy, right, guys?
Right.
You throw his little thing away, you go on with your freaking life, right? Right.
Right.
But these people, I remember one con went out of their way to specifically uninclude Venger, and their reason is they said he was a Christian fundamentalist. That was good times because I jumped in on that one. And I was like, look, Venger is not a Christian fundamentalist. Me, on the other hand, I am exactly what you think he is. And honestly, I think you need to figure it out. But apparently, yeah, these guys were calling Venger a Christian fundamentalist. Like, what kind of people are you? Like, who is like this? It just makes no sense. Yeah, guerrilla marketing. You run around, you do crazy, like unexpected stuff to market whatever you're marketing, and then it works or it don't. I mean, that's basically what happens. Yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, when they were putting like the little Moonanites all over the place and shit like that. They literally called Venger a Christian fundamentalist. And I'm just sitting here like, well, tell me you don't know anything about Venger. Yeah, if you say those words, I'll show up and be like, hey, like I tell everybody, remember the first 3 letters of fundamentalist is fun. So, I mean,
Can't spell fundamentalist without fun.
Exactly. So, okay, here is the theory, Shadow, and this is a real theory. This is not just a Venger theory, but this is a real theory / conspiracy / crazy people talking. There are some people who believe, because H.P. Lovecraft, basically everything he wrote was based on dreams he had, that the old ones and all that shit that he talks about actually live, and H.P. Lovecraft just happened to be one of a few people on the planet that was sensitive enough to like pick up what they were putting down. Except then he didn't believe it, but he wrote it down as, fiction, right? When in fact, it's actually nonfiction. Now, that is probably not true, but there are people who believe that. They think that H.P. Lovecraft was basically a unknowing prophet for a set of higher powers that that he didn't even realize existed himself. But, and I think that might be what Venger thinks or ascribes to. I know what Venger ascribes to, getting up at like 5 a.m. in the morning and going and framing houses. That's what the hell Venger does. And trying to feed all those damn kids he's got, which more power to him, have a big family.
I probably convicted him just for having that many kids. You know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, have all the kids you can have. I mean, people get mad, but we live in a society currently where all the wrong people are having all the kids.
Yeah.
The only people who are keeping shit on the level are the Mormons, God bless them. You know what I'm saying? They're the only ones reproducing and raising decent, hardworking human beings. And they're practically a religious heresy, like, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But that's just, me going off on random shit. Getting back to the thing, DaveCon will be the first con I go to if and when I go to a con.
Well, I've just got to talk to your wife and we'll make this happen.
She would miss me, but at least she's got the puppy
here.
So.
No, you know what? She'll come up here and I'll introduce her to Donna Gygax and that there's a bunch of ladies that are coming up here with their husbands, and they just gallivant over to the Mall of America. They do all kinds of stuff, and it'll just be like, goodbye, have fun.
Yeah, I'll mention it. I will mention it.
I mean, your wife we can figure it out. I can make some phone calls and see if we can't figure out how to send her up to the Prince Museum of Music and his house up there in Chanhassen and stuff like that.
Well, one thing I can say about my wife is she does love vacationing and going places. We're doing Thanksgiving out of state, and then not long after that, we're going to Williamsburg, Virginia, to stay in Colonial Williamsburg, which will be like our third or fourth time doing that over the years. So yeah, my wife, and when she lived in Germany, she went everywhere.
Well,
So when I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up, 7 heads and 10 horns. Yeah, that's yeah. And in the other books of the Bible, they mention Leviathan, who supposedly I think got whacked. Is it actually safe? If you're talking about Dave Con, I would imagine so.
what do you want to know?
If it's safe in that area, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm in Bloomington. I'm up by the airport. There's no issues whatsoever. I am only 1.25 miles from the airport, so
Nice.
I mean, it is safe as it's going to get there, and there's no problem. You got a problem? Come talk to me. I'm 6'6", 250. I'll take care of it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd be a midget next to you.
I'm
And
6'1" and
And
250.
usually I'm like one of the tallest people in the room, but
Plus, being that close to the airport, it's you don't have. There is free rides from the airport to the hotel, so you don't have to pay for that. You don't have to pay for There's a whole bunch of stuff that people take for
well, that's
people have
cool.
problems with. So
I mean, I live in the tourist capital of the world, and even I'll tell you, there's some places you got to have common sense to know not to go. I mean, every city's got somewhere in it that you shouldn't be jerking around.
yeah.
For us, it's Paramore Avenue. You don't want to go down Paramore Avenue. This is one of the proprietary dice I have, Vic.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
live in this-
12-sided die, and each side has either a passageway or a room.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So you can literally just randomly roll up a dungeon.
The most
Yeah.
hated dice my people have is this one. Let's see here. It's got the death symbol. It's got all kinds of things that can happen to you if you get hit. And it's like, 20. If you roll a 20, you roll this die. Or if I roll a 20, I roll it to them and say, hey, no off grid. You don't have to rent a car to come to Dave Con. He's the choo-choo train.
Mile and a half,
Right by the
I
hotel.
mean,
If you want to go to the Mall of America, you can take the choo-choo train to the mall, which is 1 mile away. The Mall of America is just right there. It's no issue whatsoever.
and
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say. If it's just 1.5 miles, I mean, you could get an Uber for like nothing.
Right.
Just
But the
going
hotel has free shuttle service, so why not take advantage of it?
Yeah. Well, the only reason I could see is maybe you don't want to ride with a bunch of people you don't know. But then again, if that's an issue, then you're probably not going to have a lot of fun going to a tournament full of people.
Right.
And if you want to rent a car just because you want to ride around and shit, I mean, that's a thing. But
Well, hey, if you want to ride around, I'll give you directions right down to George Floyd Square.
I don't know if I would want to do all that. I would probably just get to the hotel, take a shower, and then get ready for whatever the day's events were going to be.
If you came on a Thursday, James, Thursday night, we're having dinner with like Frank Metzer, David Wesley, all those guys. All the guests are coming. You have dinner with one of them, and then afterwards, we're having a 4 to 5 hour game session with those guys. Meaning they set up a game, and you guys play an exclusive little game before the rest of everybody plays. So,
Talking about Ubers, you know, back when I was a kid, we were told not to go into cars with strange people. No, it's like, let me order a car with a strange person in it to take me to places.
Well, it's a little different when that's their job. I mean, you know, speaking of left, if you ever wanted to go to a con, Dave Con would be actually pretty close to you. I mean,
Well,
Elizabethtown to Minneapolis, that's like 2 states over, man. That's like Illinois and then Wisconsin, Minnesota, you know.
decently.
And I've looked at tickets. A lot of aircraft tickets have become incredibly inexpensive, incredibly affordable over the years. Because I remember a long time ago, I always thought, you know, only rich people could ride in airplanes, right? But that's just simply not how it is now. You know, you can catch a flight from Orlando to Kentucky for like $140 or some shit.
I just ran the numbers.
Like round trip or something?
I just ran the numbers from Dallas to Minneapolis. And it's it's $300 something dollars, so it'd be like $175 round trip or something less than that. And that, you know,
well, it's cheaper if you plan way ahead.
Yeah.
It's like the further ahead you plan the trip, the cheaper it gets. It gets expensive if you want like a last minute flight.
Right.
But yeah, man, I was figuring it out. Like the other day, I was thinking about if I wanted to visit my mom, how much would it cost? And I think it was like $200 total, you know, and that was including an Uber to the freaking airport. And, you know, so of course I would have arrived in like London. And so my pops would have had to drive down, but that's only like 30 minutes. So, you know, whatever. You know, the pops would have had to pick me up in London and drop me off when I came home, but instead I'll just wait until the wife and I go. You don't fly, so you drive. All right. Understandable. I mean, I'm talking all this flight stuff, but to be fair, guys, the last time I've been on an airplane was when I was in the service. You know what I mean? And that was when they were shipping my ass to somewhere I didn't really want to go. Because that's how that works, you know. Like, I left MEPS and they dumped my ass off at the Orlando airport and they gave me like 2 food vouchers and a ticket. And the food vouchers were so you could go to like specific like restaurants at the airport, which weren't even restaurants. And you gave them the voucher and you got like French fries and a hamburger, you know, and it was like, oh, well, nice, you know, like the cheapest thing ever. And then I got on a tiny little plane. It definitely was not like a 747. It was little. It wasn't even like twin engine. It had like, you know, and away we went. And away we went. And
I've
like,
never been on an airplane.
well, the one I was on, it was weird because it was like, since I was going to Georgia, right, from Orlando, it was like the airplane was going up and then it leveled off and started going down. And then we landed. It was like,
it's like
all
a
right,
missile.
you
It's
know,
like a missile.
yeah, it was just like, all right, cool. And then Of course, I flew on a big old 747 to the Gulf. I actually remember it was a Pan Am because I guess the president has the ability to like make civilian airplanes fly soldiers around.
Yep, it's part of the World War II. After World War II, they put that into effect, where there was like, no, we're gonna start doing it this way.
Yep. So what ended up happening is these 747s landed at a Hunter Army Airfield, which is where 375 infantry is, Rangers. And then we were shuttled over in Humvees or whatever, and forced to stand in big lines until they let us board whichever one we were going to board. Got to go to mass. Yep. You have a good one, man. Yeah. Are you going to Vespers? Is that what you're doing? Saturday is usually like Vespers, but anyway, yeah. And then we got on. I'll tell you, here's something really funny, not game related, unfortunately, but kind of funny. When they shipped us to the Gulf, right? All of the flight attendants on the 747 I was on, the Pan Am, were beautiful young women. Like every one of them was a beautiful young woman. And they were all chatting us up the whole time. And it was a long flight. We had to stop and refuel midway, in Greece. And, so that was cool. They're all like, flirting, tee-hee, look at all you handsome soldiers, all this, that, and the other, right? When we got on those airplanes to come home, every one of the flight attendants was like 50. Looked like her name should have been Olga or Helga or some shit like that. Built like a freaking linebacker. And I was like, I wonder if they did that on purpose, because us infantry guys, we haven't seen a woman in literally like, a year. And maybe they're afraid that, shit could get out of hand if they put the hotties on the plane with us. And then we landed in Frankfurt. And boy, I'll never forget, we got off the airport, we trucked to these GP large tents they had assembled for us. And which, that just means general purpose large tent. And if you ever seen MASH, you know what I'm talking about. And we walked in, and there was a giant table, and it was just covered with sliced bread and cold cuts and cheese and like all stuff to make sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
And it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen up until that moment. I was just like staring, and then of course I went and grabbed a big ass hoagie roll, and I went straight up Dagwood on that bitch. I was throwing everything on that thing, like pow, I mean, because I hadn't had actual real food in a year. We were eating MREs 90% of the time, and then occasionally T-Rats, which are just canned things, right? And while they're way better than MREs, they're still not what I would consider real food,
Yeah.
Even though the sliced beef and carrots was pretty damn good. Yeah. Coochie, I will tell you something. I don't know if you were in the service or not, but damn near everyone I knew at Fort Stewart in my unit and in all of the other units in our battalion and brigade was a gamer. I played more Shadowrun when I was at 3-7 Infantry than I probably did when I was back home. Like there was a guy over in the Mortar Battalion, or the Mortar Company, I mean. So that would be the support company. And he ran a mean game of Shadowrun. If you were willing to overlook all the spider web tattoos all over him. Because back then it was a lot more like free range as far as the tattoos people had. But I don't know if he was actually one of those guys or he just liked spider webs. I never asked. He never said. And then like me and my roommates, we played all kinds of role-playing games and BattleTech. And then when I was deployed to the Gulf, I took a copy of the Middle Earth role-playing rules with me because they're so small and easy to fit in the bag, right? And we played Middle Earth role-playing in the Gulf in the back of a damn Bradley. An M2 is an M2 A1 Bradley at the time. So, yes, to answer your question, yes. Service members are freaking nerds. When we're not out trying to bang, the heaviest woman in the club or whatever we're doing, just to be crazy, and we're not drinking freaking, Bush Tall Boys because you can get a whole flat for like $7 at S4, right?
Mad Dog 2020.
Right. Well, because you didn't have a tax on alcohol because military, and they would let you buy even though you were like only 18. So it was like, you don't understand how cheap whiskey is until you buy it without tax.
Oh,
like when you can buy a liter of good bourbon for like $12 because like 200% of the price of liquor is tax. So yeah, we were gamers like crazy style, man. All kinds of games. D&D. I think second edition had came out, but most of the guys I knew were still playing first. And Shadowrun. There was a Rift game that I got into for a little while. Didn't really care for it, but it was there. And of course, like I said, I ran Middle Earth role-playing and stuff like that. Merchant Marines is real, dude. You guys are as important as any other branch.
Yeah.
Don't even, don't even joke. But, so yeah. And I'm surprised, Coochie, because I would have thought Merchant Marines, like all that time you spend on those big ships, that you guys would have had, a little role-playing group or something,
Oh, gosh.
Because the Navy is just full of gamers.
Oh. I would think that there would be a huge following in the Merchant Marine.
Yeah. And then think about just the people who occasion my channel, right? You've got Jeff, Airborne Infantry,
Shark.
Bruce Lombardo, Navy. You've got me, Dirty Leg Infantry, as Jeff would say. You've got, what's his name, the Marine, that I always call Crayon Eater. So it's like, yeah, it's like.
Well, there seems to be plenty.
Yeah, see, when I was in between 89 to 90 something, at least at Fort Stewart, we called it S4, and it was an on-base liquor store. Because, you really couldn't buy whiskey and stuff at the PX. But there was an on-base liquor store. So it was actually not far away from where we went to buy our new uniforms and boots when we had to do that. Because, they only replace your stuff like once a year. And when they do the replacements, like you get 2 new uniforms and 1 new pair of boots. And that's not enough, man. You need like at least 5 or 6 and at least 2 pairs of boots. So, but yeah, there's a lot of veterans in this chat that played games. It is very common.
Talking about
So
the
anyway,
military.
I'm telling you this, Vic.
What'd
If
you
I
say?
ever leave my house and go out of state to a convention, it will be DaveCon. And I don't expect any special treatment from you at all.
Well, you'll get a little bit of special treatment.
Well,
You won't even know it. You won't even know.
Not only do I not expect it, I would rather not have it.
You won't even know it. Let's put it that way.
I'd rather no one even know who I am unless somebody watches my videos and freaking happens to, aren't you that one guy? But otherwise, I just want to be a fly on the wall playing some games.
Well,
living my best life like that. You know, I mean, we're second best life, hopefully.
For me to go to Dave Con, I have to go through what, Wisconsin and Illinois.
Well, Illinois, then Wisconsin, and then you're in Minnesota. I mean,
Yeah, I'm only 25 miles into Minnesota, for Christ's sake. You know?
right, because you're at the Twin Cities or whatever, which is right between Wisconsin and Minnesota. St. Paul and whatever.
Yeah.
St. Paul, Minneapolis, is it?
Yeah.
So from Kentucky, a flight, if you put it like ahead, months, yeah, it probably wouldn't be but a couple $100, man. And then you'd need a room. But I'll tell you what, if we were really serious about this, Tim, you and I could. I wouldn't mind sharing a room with you. I don't think you're going to cut my throat in my sleep or anything. So,
Oh yeah, and the rooms are affordable. They're not like Gary Con $200 a night. They're $119, I think it was.
Oh, see, that's really affordable. So, I mean, this could be a thing. I'm not saying we should commit to anything.
I couldn't commit to that.
Or I should commit, but I'm just saying possibility is there.
Money's especially a little bit tight right now, so I don't think I could even afford it.
Well, the good news is it's not until April.
Maybe things will be better by then. We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. And since my birthday month is April, I mean, I could kind of hit my wife up and be like, hey, as a birthday present, why don't you send me 3 states away? She'd be fine. She'd have her pup. She's got her best friend, Jax, who is a young lady that actually games at my table. And the two of them could run around and get into trouble and do whatever. And
you wouldn't mind them getting in trouble. I know you.
Well, they already got in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, what the hell?
We got a speeding ticket in the mail.
Oh.
Apparently their last girls' day out, they were speeding and they got caught by a traffic camera. Oh, you're an April baby too, Shadow. Also, Shadow, why have you not joined? What's going on with you? What are you doing? Are you doing something?
Maybe he's doing something.
Or are you?
I'm not. I'm all the way here in the winter area. Man, I was born in January.
Yeah, my wife was born in January. And if you listen to the hippie women who say stuff about astrology, that's why her and I get along so well. Because apparently rams and water bears go well together. At least that's what the hippie chicks say. And I will say this, while I do not believe in astrology, my best relationships in my entire life, all 3 of them were with Aquariuses. So, I know the whole saying about causation and all that bullshit, but I mean, I can look at my life and I can say, well, I know that all the Aquarius girls I ever dated were great relationships. Unfortunately, I married Sagittarians. And apparently, according to the book, that's not really great. Yeah, my brother Hungar was born under the sign of the prostitute. He don't care about anything but money and hoes.
Wow.
Oof.
On your way to the shops, getting your Christmas stuff. All right.
Well, yeah.
Shadow, I'm not great at handling rejection, but I'll do my best.
I think I'm going to have to head off too. I'll see you.
Well, I'll see you, Tim.
We're going to
have
see
a good day. So let's change this around. That's right. Bitches and money. Right? I forget who even said that, but life ain't nothing but bitches and money. Yeah. Old school. What's hilarious is last night I was watching a reaction video, and it was like a young black dude, like he's 20 something, and he was watching like old school gangster rap. He was just like, what the, you know? And then like after he did one of them, then he's like, okay, now I'm going to do Beastie Boys. I've never really seen them before. And it was like Shake Your Rump or some shit. And he's like, what the hell is this? You know, I mean, he loved it, but he'd never heard of it, you know? And then the next one I watched was So What You Want by Beastie Boys. And so you got this 20-year-old black guy watching these three Jewish dudes jump around in the woods, you know, rapping and shit. And he's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I've never heard of these guys. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, they came out in like 88. So, you know, another one of my favorite things to do is to watch black women watching the Righteous Brothers for the first time.
Oh,
Oh my God.
videos
Hilarious.
of people learning, just watching new bands and stuff. It's just like, oh, you never heard those before?
Yeah, but you know, the Righteous Brothers, that's like the 60s.
Yeah.
And you got these young, relatively attractive black women, and they're watching the Righteous Brothers, right? And then when the light moves and hits them, and they're like, wait a minute, those guys are white? Because, you know, at the beginning of the song, they think they're listening to some brothers from like 60s soul music and shit, right? And all of a sudden it's like, bring back that love, you know, and how the one guy is all like, baby, baby, I get down on my knees for you. And you see these black girls start fanning themselves and shit. They're like, oh my God. You know? It's like, those girls got that vanilla fever, man. They hear that guy hit that note and they're like, oh yeah, he could have me right now. You know, of course, those guys are probably dead, but you know what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah.
Another funny one is the guy, What I Won't Do for Love. You know, I guess you wonder where I am. That guy. And I saw a black dude was watching that shit. And when he walks out in the light and you see it's a white guy, he called his mom. And he's like, Mom, do you know this song? And she's like, yeah. He's like, did you know that's a white guy? And she's like, yes. And he's like, why didn't you ever tell me? My whole life I thought it was a black guy. It's like, I don't know. I love seeing people having their misconceptions like crushed by reality. You know what I mean? Like just for fun, if you're into music and stuff, type in like Hall & Oates Black Women React. Because these young black women, they literally think Hall & Oates, if they've heard them at all, is a couple of black guys. And then they see Hall walk out there with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. And they're like, you know, and they're so expressive. Just to get these looks like, wait a minute, you know. And it's like, that's right. That's why they call it blue-eyed soul, baby. You know, you're out of touch. I'm out of time. Oh, yeah. That's right. I love to sing. It just sucks that I'm so bad at it. You know.
Does your wife tell you not to do it?
No, because when I sing to my wife, a lot of the time I sing like really like comedic songs, and she just laughs. Because when you're making up comedic words to stuff,
Oh yeah.
then you don't have to be a good singer. Like one time we were in the car going somewhere, and that song, Do You Like Pina Coladas, came on, right?
Yeah.
But I just started changing words. You know, I was like, so I went on the place, and when he talks about seeing his lady, and like I started saying, you know, so you're a dirty butt whore who was trying to cheat on me and shit like this. And of course, even though I can't really sing, the wife thought it was hilarious, you know.
Uh-huh.
Because I do stuff like that. And then I make up songs about our dog too. Like when we watched The Witcher, I changed all the words to throw a coin to the Witcher to throw a treat to the pupper. And I like had the whole song, you know, and the whole with he's a friend of humanity and all this shit, you know. And of course, the wife giggles at that sort of stuff because I am the court jester of her kingdom. So
Oh well.
that's kind of how it is, you know.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I know what exactly that's about.
Well, I've never been called a handsome man, so I had to learn to be
Funny.
a comedian. And yeah. Bruce.
Hey guys, what's up? What's up today?
Bruce of the Lombards, chief of the hill people.
How have y'all been?
Well, I could be better. I mean, my buddy could not be going through a bunch of stupid shit, but there's no help in that, you know.
I just got visited by her and I'm like, what do you need? And she's like, I want my stuff. And I'm like, okay, all of it, some of it, let me know. You're not gonna let me in? No, because I don't want you pulling apart what we've got put together. And she got upset and she's like, just take me over to the fucking 7-Eleven. What? Take me to the fucking 7-Eleven.
I always thought it would end up being me sleeping on a box behind the 7-Eleven.
So I took her to the 7-Eleven and then I called the non-emergency line of SAPD. I'm like, here's the location. Go get her. Just do a wellness check. When she talks to me, she's got Tourette's. She cusses more than anything else. So somebody needs to go talk to her. And the cops were there and they said, we can't find her. I said, that's kind of repeated motive from today because the cops were supposed to be here when she was here emptying out her room. That's why I told her to wait outside. And I called the cops. And I said, come over here. And the cops came over, but she disappeared. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to involve myself there too much. You know, I want a third party that has a means to be like, we're taking her away.
Well, you want a witness in case
Yeah.
she decides to, you know, accuse you of any untoward behavior that would cause you to be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how it is in Texas, but Florida, if you're dating some bitch, all she's got to do is yell, he hit me, your ass is going to jail.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Even if there's no evidence at all, you will go.
Well, I showed the cops the videos I took in the last 24. They're like, have her cheeks always been like that? I'm like, no, she just lost weight in the last month. How much weight you talking? Well, the plasma people said she lost about 50 pounds in the last month. 50 pounds? Yeah. So
I'm telling you, that meth. I mean, it sucks as far as for your dental plan and everything, but for weight loss, it is
it's
amazing.
great. It's amazing for weight loss.
And I can't even make fun of you too hard because, like, the area I'm from is crawling with meth heads. Which is, again, why I say when I go out in the woods, I'm heavily armed. I take a friend. It's not always cannibalistic cultists from, like, down in a holler. Sometimes it's just meth heads. And either way, you don't want to be caught in the woods alone with either group.
No.
So I've got my AR. It's actually a multi-piece thing. I can change the upper out. So if I want to fire 5.56, I can. But usually I have the 300 blackout upper on, which a 300 blackout is literally nothing but 7.62 by 3.9. Actually,
I like the 300 blackout myself. That's a great piece. Hungar, thank you for your thoughts, man. Seriously.
well,
And it's not like I hate her. I don't hate her. I just want her back. But what I've got in the meantime is a bunch of comedy because she keeps trying to assert herself like I'm the dominant one.
Dude, Bruce, I've been with crazy women too. Just jettison them as fast as you can. You know,
Yeah.
you want them back, and because hey, they're great in bed or blah 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 blah. But
No,
when they're crazy, forget it. Just get rid of them. Just
yeah, I'm tossing this one.
yeah, it took me a long time to learn that lesson, like I told you.
The C can have this one. She's not a bad person. She just right now she's got the demon of meth inside her, and I call her Methany because I call her Methany to her face
oh,
because that's all all she gives a shit about. She went to the meth capital of San Antonio instead of driving to Houston yesterday. And then something happened with her car, and she says, somebody got in my car and ripped out some fuses. Is your car drivable? It's not moving. Okay, Methany. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll see if I can get a guy out there. I called a friend of mine, and he went over there, and he's like, I found all the fuses about 45 foot away within pitching distance of the hood.
Jeez.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Methany.
Yeah,
Methany Metherson of the Connecticut Methersons.
Yes. I'll be using that here as her official title.
Yeah, you know how people used to my name is Mark Wallace of the Connecticut Wallaces. That's like a very big thing back in the 20s, you know. So we'd always do like, oh look, it's one of the Methersons. You know.
I'm Walnut Jefferson of the Missouri House of Jeffersons.
Yeah.
We wrap everything in bacon. That way people will come and talk to us.
My name is James Jefferson of the Chicago Jeffersons. And we finally got our piece of the pie.
I've dealt with my share of meth heads, and I have a meth radar detector, man. It's just like I can tell somebody's on meth almost instantly. Just like, oh, I'm not.
Are they fidgeting? Are they scratching themselves? Are they?
Yeah,
skinny?
they got sores
they
on
got
their body.
breakouts all over their face. Are
They got
their
sores
teeth
on their
bad?
body. They've got, you know what I mean? It's just like, ugh.
We have the HEB patriarchs within the city limits. Okay, the guys that make the biggest store for grocers in the state, bigger than Kroger for Texas, is HEB, and the family of the Butts, Howard Edward Butts, HEB's, is here in town. His son's Charles, and he's a staunch Republican, but he does love to give money to his socialist causes, like what they call the Haven for Hope. The Haven for Hope is the most deluxe, well-armed and armored homeless shelter within the country. When you drive in there,
one guy that sells the pillows used to be like a hardcore crackhead.
yeah, Lindell was a fucking serious issue.
Yeah, that's his name, like Chuck Lindell or whatever.
Mike.
He was like
Mike
super
Lindell.
Yeah, Mike Lindell.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Mike. I've met Mike.
Uh-oh.
All right, well, tell us, Vic.
Let me just say, the one time I met Mike and he wanted to do some business with me, I looked at Mike square in the eye, and he was going this religious nonsense to me. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm just not that religious.
That's okay. No one's perfect.
And I couldn't take it anymore. It was just like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not following you and your nonsense. And he puts off this persona, and I'm just like, you know what? Once a meth head, always a meth head, sort of thing. I mean, he's still saying.
Well, I mean, the gene that caused him to become an addict is still there. He just found other,
right, and it just
to devote himself to. Like if I weren't addicted to crack or plastic crack, I'd probably actually be addicted to crack. I wouldn't actually, because I think too much of myself. But I mean,
right.
A little powder cocaine, maybe.
But he came off so badly to me.
It probably saved me money, if I'm honest.
It was just like, I don't, you know what I mean? He just came off so badly to me in the first encounter that it was like, Mike, no, I can't. Just there's nothing there. You know what I mean? And he highly recommended it. Oh, he's got big money behind him, blah, 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 blah. You can really grow your company. Well, look at him now. Where is My Pillow? They're not in their buildings anymore out in Shakopee, Minnesota, where they have their factory.
I couldn't say. I don't know.
Well, I could, but I'm telling you. I don't even know where he's manufacturing anymore. Even if he is he even selling pillows? Does anybody know?
You got a Santa Claus parade today. Holy shit, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. See, that's a personal peeve. If I somehow become the not so benevolent king of America, one of my edicts would be no Christmas decorations until at least a week after Thanksgiving.
I will vote for you.
I mean, you people need to calm the hell down.
I will vote for you.
Well, I mean, I don't think becoming a king requires you to vote for me, but still.
Well, okay. Well, I will support you in your endeavor in that one, because guess what? I'm on the same.
Yeah, man. The wife and I went out to lunch today, like I said, and people got like inflatable snowmans and Santa Clauses and shit all in their yards. And while I'm not wanting to crush anyone's dreams over here, at the same time, it's like, really, guys? I mean, we're just going to pretend like Thanksgiving isn't a thing anymore? I mean, very funny you say that. Well, unboxing yet another, but that's why I said, Satya, sometimes I wonder if I become a cokehead, if I wouldn't actually save money based on, like if I gave up buying Warhammer miniatures and just decided to go straight out doing lines every day and running around like a maniac. Sometimes I wonder, like, would that be a net savings monetarily for me? And the answer is maybe. I mean,
No, I don't think so.
it depends how much,
Number
that
one is
stuff
I
is
think your
going
wife
for
has
these
too much
days,
class. So there's that.
I'm just saying it depends how much that stuff is going for these days.
I still think your wife has too much class. And
Well, I mean, I'd have to
Keep it a
convince
curb
her
in a
to do it
heartbeat.
too. So yeah, that would definitely be a thing. I'd have to be like, hey, babe, we should do coke. It sounds hilarious just like thinking about it, It's like,
and when we find you dead in the
I
middle
want
of
to know. I want to know what the temperature is over by where Morbius is at. Where's Mobius live?
Mobius is one of our resident Canadians, I think. Mobius was a little bit of a topic of discussion the other day because apparently him and some other Canadians were all fighting with each other. That's one thing I've noticed about you Canadians, man. You guys don't get along with each other for shit.
That's because we were talking about the various types of maple syrup that the beavers were fighting over. Oh yeah, hey.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is, but it's like between Rick or 28 millimeter and Mobius and frickin'
Wait, 8 millimeters a Canadian?
Rick, yeah.
Okay, that fucking makes so much goddamn sense. No wonder he doesn't get along with me very well. He must. I wonder if he's from Ontario.
Oh, because you're always making fun of Ontario?
I'm making fun of fucking the socialist Canadians. Which
I thought you were making fun of Toronto.
I make fun of a lot of non-Albertan Canadians. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mobius, I don't know what it is, but you Canadians need to get together in an all-Canadian Discord at some point and work your problems out.
Yeah, you guys need to figure that out.
You guys are just angry with each other.
Like,
and it's like, and us Americans, I mean, we're down here like, what could this guy possibly have done to make
you ever see
so pissed?
Did you ever see the Casper Van Diem Sleepy Hollow movie?
Are you talking about the one with
Chris Walken?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, so everybody in that film, except for Chris Walken, you could make a meme where everybody, when they walk on screen, it says Canadian at the bottom, Canadian, Canadian. And then when Chris Walken gets on screen, it has Alberta, origin Alberta. And that's basically how I view the Albertan Canadians versus the other Canadians, because like they look at that guy with a serious stink eye. Like, how dare you talk to other countries like you're the Texas of Canada? Stop that.
See, I don't understand. Okay, Mobius, and I think Mercurius, who is also Canadian. All right, I'm going to commit a sin and do a little gossiping because I'm not supposed to, but let's go.
Oh no.
Apparently, you and Mercurius were fighting with Bear, and then 28 millimeter and Max Bovine were fighting with somebody.
Boy Vaughn.
And all of the
Vaughns.
people you guys are fighting with are other Canadians, which is really like strange to me. Because I'm like, really? You guys live 1,000 miles away from each other, and you're all mad about, I don't know, role-playing games or something? That seems like, weird, but
Good energy expenditure.
But then again, you guys are known for war crimes and shit. So hey, I mean, keep that energy. Let people know that you consider the Geneva Conventions to just be suggestions. But yeah, that's like, because the other day you were on the chat with me, and my other Canadian bro shows up, and you were like immediately, well, I'm out. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. He just said hi, and then he's like, I'm out. And then Bear said, well, he don't like me. And I was like, what I just said, I was like, what the F is up with you Canadians? Like, why can't you guys get along? Now, I understand if like it's somebody not liking Quebecois or something like that. I get it. I mean, no one likes the French, right? But see, I'm not taking sides here, Mobius. I'm just saying that you're and if you were the only one and it was just you and Bear having a kerfluffle, that would be a thing. But I'm literally talking about 4 or 5 Canadians that get on chats that all hate each other. Like Max Bovine used to be a super regular on every one of my streams. He would always show up, chat, the whole 9 yards. He does not like me anymore. Now, I'm not Canadian, and I don't blame him for not liking me, and Rick, 28 millimeter, he was always on streams with me, especially if Shauner was around. I haven't seen that dude in forever.
We miss you, Shauner, you angry fuck.
Now, if it's me personally that people don't like, I mean, I get it. I'm loud, I talk a lot, and I'm very opinionated. But why people wouldn't like whatever, I mean, I think the funniest part is I just like blaming it on you Canadians. Like I expect better from you, but let's be honest. I really don't expect better from you than my fellow Americans. So it just is what it is. I'm just talking shit. That's what it is. And like I always say, don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you would only get that if you listen to old school NWA. All right, yellow boy, kick that shit back. Right? Because it's about fucking this bitch and that bitch, but not the bitch with the 7-year itch. She says, E, I want to do you like a doggy. Right? See, you guys don't know about that because, that's ethnic. She's bad, nobody is badder, but she got more crabs in a seafood platter. Bitch on a gank move, 2 skis me, just to say she got done by easy. But I slapped that bitch like a pimp. I might be a woman beater, but I'm not a eater. Right? You don't know that song, do you, Vic?
No.
Yeah. So when they shit out of my mouth, you don't like what I'm talking about?
I'm too white for that. I grew up in North Dakota, so
And don't quote me because I ain't said shit. Oh, yeah. I used to love the funny Easy songs. You know, where he'd be like, the one where he's like rapping in the club and you got the two old men being like, this guy good, this guy good. I knew him since he was knee high to a grasshopper. And the other guy's like, he still is knee high to a grasshopper. Because Easy was like 5'4" or some shit. Tiny guy. And easily I approach the microphone because I ain't no joke. Tell your mom to get off of my tit. I have no time to give her my dick. And I'm going to hold it. I walk around the stage, and if you fuck up, I'm going to get the gauge and unload the barrels and laugh as I'm putting lead in your fucking ass. Psychopathic. See, I mean, I know all those songs.
Obviously.
You are about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Dr. Dre. And it starts out with Ice Cube, straight out of Compton. You know, like, yeah, when I was like 17, that was like, I played that cassette tape until it died. Like, for real. I was just like, that. And the other one I played a lot, and you guys will laugh, those of you who managed to stick it out through my rap rendition. The two groups I was listening to the most at that point was NWA and Hank Williams Jr. And
Hey,
if
nothing
you
wrong
think
with
that's
Hank
weird,
Williams
you
Jr.
don't understand shit. No one's seen Rick in a long time. I seen him like a month ago, and I'm like, where the hell have you been? And he's like, oh, I've just been doing something. So, but anyway, Mobius, if I had my way, everyone would just get along. And no one would take anything I say for sure serious at all.
If you're taking anything I say seriously, that's a you issue, a skill issue with common sense. Never take anything I say seriously.
And that's what I say. I will get on.
Okay, then we know your girlfriend's still with you.
I'll get on here and talk all kinds of shit. Don't take it serious.
Yeah, please don't take me seriously.
Unless I say I'm serious, I freaking hate you or something. Then take that serious because you've obviously done something that set me off. But otherwise, man, who's got time for all that shit? I ain't got time for it. I've literally got a box of shame over here that could choke a freaking camel. No, I do not need
You guys
help.
hear music? Okay.
That's my thing. And I do not need help with
I'm not
my
calling
freaking extended warranty. I sold the car literally 5 years ago. And yeah. And also, I don't need any Medicare stuff that you're trying to sell. Going to sleep. Catch you later, Satya. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work on the painting front. Your wizard looks really cool. It looks the stuff. I liked it a lot. The wizard you painted. It actually makes me think that I have my camera phone here.
All right.
I
I got a visitor, guys. I'll see you later. All right.
Yeah. Catch you later. First old guys, a month is a long time. Shut up, Shadow. You're never going to die.
Shit. California just collapses into the sea, but Shadow's house mysteriously stays afloat, and the casket pushes it to land.
Like Shadow washes up in Arizona.
Arizona Bay.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. All my exes live in Texas. And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Right?
I'm pretty certain you're getting the joke now.
Yeah.
Good song, but there's a message there, loud and clear.
Yeah, the guy's fled Texas to get away from his exes. I'm pretty sure that's the message, right?
Yeah, that is.
He's like, Texas women are all crazy, so I'm moving to Tennessee. I'll get me a big old holler girl. I mean, she may not be the hottest thing on the planet, but she'll be able to cook.
You get a girl looking like Hannah Barron that goes out and hogs her own fish. You're doing well.
Catch you later, Mobius. Enjoy your Christmas thing.
Later, Mobius. Enjoy Christmas. You ever see
Next
Hannah
time all
Barron?
you Canadians get together to elect a government, tell the rest of them, you guys need to calm down. Stop being so hateful with each other.
Seriously.
I mean, I imagine there's only like 20 of you, right? So you should be able to get that message out pretty easy. I'd appreciate it. See, that was me making a dig on Canada, being a tiny country, even though it's the second largest country in the world. I miss Bear. He used to really get upset when I used to say that.
What? Okay, is Bear never coming back or what?
He didn't tell me. And so I can't really get into that. I do know one thing for sure. He and I were arguing about whether or not the monks were lying when they wrote down the whole history of the Irish. And his argument was, oh, they were probably lying. And I was like, well, I'm going to be naive and say they're talking the truth. And we're going back and forth about it. And PB said something and he got pissed off. Now, like I said, I kind of get it, because if you feel like you're being ganged up on, it's easy to get pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But then again, on the other hand, because I like actually one of my favorite songs, on the other hand, back when Randy Travis saved country music from itself. But anyway, him and PB had a weird kind of, how sometimes I guess people just don't get on?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I invited, I always call him PB because I don't remember his name. Because, not his fault, my fault. But we had PB on. It was me, Shadow, PB, Bear, and we were talking shit about comic books. And of course, I was talking shit about how they're gay or something. And, and PB and Bear kind of just started kind of ruffling each other, And actually, yeah, and it was like Bear got kind of like mad about something. And for the life of me, I'm not 100% sure exactly why Bear was so mad. But then they made up, and I thought, thank God, because I'm not trying to, you know me. I like everybody to get along. I'm that guy, I went through PLDC. I was the leader of a squad. I like everybody to be on the same page with everything all the time, or else, well, in the old days, I would be putting foots in asses, but that's not it. We're not living in those days, right? So I was super happy that they had seemingly made up, but then I guess they didn't. Now, I don't know if PB knew they were at loggerheads over anything, to be honest. If you're still here, if you haven't wandered out, you are 100% welcome to give what you think about this. But yeah, I didn't think they were still fitting at each other, I thought everything had been handled. Everybody was cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like I said, in Bear's defense, if you think multiple people are like ganging up on you in an argument, it's easy to just get enraged and be like, you know what? F you guys, right? But as far as him deleting all of his shit, that would be a shame.
That's kind of catastrophic.
Yeah, it's pretty tragic, because a lot of people 100% loved everything he did, myself included, Now, he might have had his detractors, mostly Canadian ones. But I think the majority of people, though, liked what he had going down, right? So, like, would I be up on his Patreon and would I have bought his games and backed his shit if I didn't like the guy? No. Because I typically do not give money to people I don't like. So, any game companies out there, if you want me to like or buy your game, just make me like you, like the guy who wrote Hyperborea did, and I will drop, so much money on your games. You'll be like, holy shit, jackpot. We have caught the whale. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this whole thing, I mean, I was pretty sad about it yesterday, but on the other hand, I mean, I can't like let it stop me from doing my stuff. Hey, Daniel Barry, how you doing, bro? Sports highlights. The only highlight I want to know is how did the Bruins do? That's right. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, da. Right. The most annoying sports fans in the whole world.
No. Those are called the Eagles fans.
Oh, Eagles fans.
I'm gonna diss on Philadelphia for a little bit. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't blame Philadelphia though, because they live in Philadelphia.
I mean, remember when they won the Super Bowl and the owner comes back and they have the party and everybody's out on the street and he's there holding up the trophy, this huge golden trophy for the Eagles, and somebody's booing. He's like, "What do you want? I could get you anything. I thought I got you a World Series championship. What else do you need?" And the guy's like, "Fuck you."
Like I said, Philadelphia, man.
I mean, it's just most Philadelphia thing I've ever seen in my life. Like the attitude check was completely Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's like, isn't It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
And those guys are always running around getting hooked on crack and doing all kinds of crazy shit.
I'm gonna go grab more coffee.
You get some coffee, man.
I've had like a fun day. I don't know if you saw these, but my girl on Twitter, there's a lady called Black Dumpling, and she has
that's cool.
Yeah, she has mugs and hoodies and shit for sale. She has a really sweet AI personification of a fairy that's got huge bazoombas, and she hates communism. So,
well, Bear posted a picture of Sydney Sweeney dressed up like Power Girl on my Discord.
On your Discord? Hold on, I've got to check this out.
I think it's in the meme section. Because when we were talking about superheroes, I was going off about Power Girl is the best superhero.
She really is.
She really is. And I mean, if you're going to do a live action Power Girl, I mean, who else would you get, really?
What the fuck? Bear and James go hog hunting again. End up at a fat chick fart smelling party. What the fuck, meme maker?
Yeah. And Count Von Shadow is what he calls Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Shadow is now officially a vampire and a European noble of some sort.
How many women are in this photo with Shadow? 0. None of them are women.
Oh, when he's in Asia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 30 fucking lady boys all around him.
But like I said, the best thing about Thai or Filipino lady boys is they let you know what they are. I mean, they're upfront about it. And so you can avoid them.
I love the fact they do that because you really can't tell. You're like, that's a hot chick. But then they look at photos of like American trainees. They're like, oh, that's American medical science. Are you guys even trying, or are you still in the recreational leagues trying to get the JV?
Well, American lady boys are it's man. Thai lady boys are like, tee hee hee hee, you're so pretty. Or you're such a handsome, big, muscly man. And then you're like, but wait a minute. Are you a dude? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. It's nice meeting you, sir. Yeah. And they don't get offended by that, you know? If you're like, look, I'm not into the lady boys, they're like, oh, that's cool. You know, and then they'll just go find someone who is. That's really the difference. They don't have the nasty attitude.
But I do like this the one where Shadow's at the graveyard with all the goth girls, and he says, "I will abide no disrespect of Arduin, slave."
Yeah. Well, me and Shadow had a long talk about Arduin and versus, you know, Burrows and whatever versus
Bunnies and Burrows from Frog God Games
versus Hyperborea, and how much they kind of, you know, they have a lot of the same themes, but the problem is, at least for Shadow, the problem is no one knows anything about Arduin. Like, I have never even heard about Arduin until I met Shadow. I didn't even know it existed. It's like, what the hell is an Arduin, you know? And then it's like, well, it's one of the oldest things ever, right? And I'm like, where was I during all this? I don't even remember this stuff, man. But I mean, you know, whatever. He likes it. And, you know, he sent my brother a bunch of stuff for it. And that's cool that, you know, brother up. And apparently the guys who make it are super cool dudes too. So, I mean, but it's kind of one of the reasons I started going off about him being kind of a hipster.
Yeah.
Was because it's like, you know, I play Greyhawk. He plays Arduin. I play some version of a fantasy game. He plays another version that literally like 10 people in the world play. And, you know, I like Metallica. He likes some metal band I've never even heard of. And hates Metallica because they wrecked his house once. And it's just like, wow, man. Okay. I mean, cool. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just like, you know. But he did manage to find a sell on the Hyperborean Player's Guide, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because he is super into AD&D, Shadow YB1EZ. Shadow, how many freaking accounts do you got, man?
It was all the accounts, all of them. All
Yeah.
of the accounts, James.
You know, I think when Shadow gets his Hyperborea book and he starts reading it, even if the setting isn't, even if he thinks the setting isn't as good as Arduin, he's going to think the rules are better than most of the clones out there. Which, in all honesty, the rules are just AD&D. And they just modified some shit to make it easier to play. That's it. It's like, it's 90% AD&D, 10% fixes to AD&D. And, you know, of course, there are no elves in Arduin or in Hyperborea, but you could put them there if you wanted. I mean, you know, wouldn't be hard. Dwarves you really couldn't do because, like I said, in Hyperborea, dwarves start their lives as maggots that climb out of the stone up into the caverns from the underworld, and they become twisted, ugly little bastards who will literally try to grape anyone they encounter. That's kind of their thing. They're lawful evil also. So yeah, you don't want to deal with dwarves. Also, some of them have goose feet or web toes or whatever. I mean, which is accurate to Norse mythology.
Yes.
That's how they were described in the sagas and stuff. But
Hyperborea Shadow is a really good system and a place to run a game. It's kind of like Axe, where Hyperborea is more welcoming of outside sources.
right.
Axe is very insular. You were playing within the confines of the Roman Empire,
Pretty much.
and that's Axe.
Like pretty much all of my Goodman Games modules that I have, and there are probably more than 50 of them, could be used with
Hyperborea.
Hyperborea.
Axe is so fucking centric to this 50-mile plantation.
Also, another thing about it that Shadow will like is he was just talking about he's going to do a show later about gender mixing, or not gender mixing, genre mixing.
Why?
And yeah, West Coast thing. And Hyperborea is all of that. Like, depending on what you fight and stuff, you could find a laser gun. Like one of the starting adventures, the players end up encountering like the laboratory of a very technologically advanced race. I believe maybe it's the Migo. And then they got to deal with that and hopefully not get their brains cut out and put in jars. So it's like, technology is not common by any means, except there are aliens that travel to and fro from Hyperborea, and they are very technological, but they tend to try to keep it secret. But yeah, getting your hands on a Migo ray gun, that's awesome because, like, if you hit somebody with it, including if one of them hits you with it, you have to make a death save. If you succeed, you take like 3 or 4 dice 6 damage or some shit. And if you fail the death save, you just disintegrate. So, yeah, that's what they're talking about. And I mean, the thing with Arduin is all of the people you can play, at some point, their ancestors came from what they call Old Earth. And which means at some point, someone was the first person to come from Old Earth, right? So theoretically, if someone wanted to play a cowboy, they should be allowed to. And it would work like John Carter of Mars. You were a cowboy and you were out doing something and you went into a cave and there was a mist in the cave and you walked through the mist and you ended up in Hyperborea. Because that's how literally every race on Hyperborea pretty much got there, except for the Hyperboreans.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, you can make it as weird as you want, really, Or you can play it straight, like a Conan game.
Hyperborea can be played about 10 different ways, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you can play it like just a pure sword and sandals type game.
It works.
You can go like pulp. You can go sci-fi fantasy. You can play it like Call of Cthulhu, except with different rules and a fantastical, you can play it like it's the Dreamlands of Earth. Yeah. However you want to play it, you could play it that way. That's kind of a strength. And yeah. Like the Migo apparently have a slave race of humans that they keep like from developing, and they give them drugs and stuff to keep them docile, and they use them to mine minerals and stuff for them, like deep underground. So you could encounter these guys, you know. You could encounter night gaunts, you could encounter elder things, the great race. So all of these Cthulhu things exist on the world. Yeah, see, Hyperborea is the continent that used to be where the Arctic Ocean is now. And when it sunk in a massive cataclysm, the same one that took out Atlantis and Lemuria and all that shit, it ended up orbiting Saturn because the great old one, Tsathoggua, used his power to do that. The Hyperboreans worshipped Tsathoggua. So he saved them, basically.
I thought the Hyperborean continent and Arctic Ocean changeover happened at about the same time that Tiamat, the planet, got destroyed, and now we have an asteroid belt.
Well, that could be true. It could also be when Daggerland flooded, the Mediterranean was existed. You know, apparently at some point, you know, a lot of things dove under the water, right? Mm-hmm. And then since that happened for like thousands of years, there's been incidents of humans, sometimes singly, sometimes in groups, and sometimes in whole damn tribes of people have been doing something and found their way into the mist, you know, the north wind. And when they exited the other side, they were on that flat, hexagonal shape, whatever, with Saturn hanging in the sky. And then, you know, fast forward thousands of years, and now they don't even remember. A lot like the Cimmerians, the Celts, and the Picts. Most of them might have legends that they originally came from old Earth, but it's not something they worry about daily, you know, if at all. And it's so far in the future that our sun is now red, and it's grown in size to the point that, you know, you can actually see it from Saturn relatively well. But it does not give off very much heat, and that's why most of Hyperborea is kind of chilly, you know? There's a few areas where it gets balmy and jungle-y, but most, especially the interior of the continent, it's just mostly tundras and taigas and freaking barren wastelands and shit. And you can go there and get ate by the men of Ling, the Cho-Cho people, the spiders of Ling, etc. You know, good stuff. Good stuff. And then Cromorium is basically a giant city full of furnaces and with a giant port. And those furnaces burn the peat that they dig up out of the swamps that surround the city. And they pretty much just make steel and iron there. And then they trade the metals to other places for other goods they might need, like mostly food stuffs or luxury items. And as a result, the whole city of Cromorium a lot of times is covered with a thick cloud of black, you know, smoke because of the 24/7 peat-powered furnaces just ripping nonstop, you know. So, yeah. So, that's the thing, you know. And personally, like I said, I think Shadow, based on what I know of Shadow's likes and dislikes, I think there's a lot of stuff about this game that will appeal to him, and probably some stuff that may not. But, you know, anything he says doesn't appeal to him, I'll just say it's because he's a damn hipster and move on with my day. Pretty much.
I haven't heard horrible reasons for Shadow not liking something. I've heard normal reasons, like he has really no kink that on first or second glance, like you're like, oh, I don't know if I really agree with this guy. Most people hear Shadow talk about a game system, they understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And he also seems like he's ran a game table for a long time, and it might also have been the same people. So knowing this, his perspective on what might be considered new or up and coming or commentary worthy, comment worthy, might be completely different from real life, because sometimes you get a table that they are together for years, and for them to remain topical or discuss things, they're going to be basically talking about the news during combat. Because
yeah, but I'm still going to blame Shadow being a hipster,
Shadow,
even if it's not true, because that's the funniest
true.
course I can take. Like, even if his like complaints about the game are totally legitimate, and I actually agree with him, I'm still going to be like, damn it, Shadow, you hipster. So I'm just letting him know now. But I think you'll like it. I mean, your characters start with a Thaco, but every time you go up in level, you get a bonus to hit. So, you know, it's pretty freaking... It's pretty simple. The game is like AD&D, except everything is a lot more simplified or easy to understand. You know, and there's, I don't know, like 20 types of classes you can play. Well, Bruce is fair. I'm not fair, though. I'm saying I'm going to be like, nope, Shadow's a hipster.
If you and your group have been together for longer than 5 years, and somebody's like, did you try this new game? I really can't trust what your idea of new is, because you guys for 8 hours a week are hanging out with each other. And you're not a news group. You're not there comparing shit from TMZ to fucking Reuters. You're there in a gaming room at a table with polyhedral dice playing a game that was written in 73.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a bad thing. I'm not slamming you. What I'm saying is that I almost fear for the moment where you start trying to get things like, hey, this happened in the last 2 weeks. And you start talking, and like you might be regurgitating.
It never even occurred to me that you would be talking about me.
I'm just saying that, like, you have guys that like my table. We don't talk about new games. Like, maybe we might talk about new computer games, like Dune made a few rounds around the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you guys ought to talk to James about this. He loves Dune.
I do.
But that game died, and they played Jump Space, which is a neat looking game where you go into a ship together. Then you have a star combat moment or space combat moment where everybody gets a different panel, and they all try to make the ship survive to the next encounter. And then you arrive at an asteroid or a location where you have to jump out in space, do a spacewalk, and then you're there fighting for your life against NPCs or bots or PCs or whatever. But it's
you gotta jump out and repair some shit, and then jump back in and be like,
and you're getting attacked by other people from the other crews or wherever you've landed at. Very cute looking game, very cool looking game, like Big Rock or Big Rock Galactic, but for humans.
Yeah.
Deep Rock Galactic, my bad.
Ah.
That game's almost 10 years old. I can't talk about new games because I just don't play new games.
Huh.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Me, I am a freaking gamer that is afflicted with like the worst case of gamer ADHD And where's the squirrel behavior ever? Like, you know,
Mhm.
that's just the thing, you know. It's like, ooh, shiny. Or let's do this or let's do that. And I'm like, yeah. So, you know, but hopefully that won't happen with this game because, you know, it'd be cool to try to keep a campaign going for a while. I know my wife would like it. The main complaint my wife has about our gaming is that we change games more than she would like.
Okay, so ask her, would you rather be in one game for 6 years and be 20th level at the end?
And her answer would probably be yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the last game I ran for my group, I basically had to promise my wife that if she would go along with us changing the game, that I would run the game for at least a year. And I did. And it was Warhammer Fantasy roleplay. And they
Still,
ended up having a great time of it. But
still one of my favorite FFRPGs.
yep. But yeah. But
Which version were you playing?
because my wife was basically like, look, I'm sick and tired of you switching games, you know, every couple months, you know. It's like every time we make a character and I start getting to where I like my character, you're like, oh, we got to make a new character. And she's like, and I don't like that. And I'm like, okay, fair. So this Hyperborean game is going to have to last for a long time, or else I will probably get beat. And I don't want to get beat. That doesn't sound like fun, you know, getting beaten. So, and no, I won't actually get beat. That's just me being a drama queen, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's like the older I get, the more like I get to where I'm like, oh, let's play this. Let's play this. Let's play this. I don't know if I can blame it on the fact that I'm getting older and I just want to play everything, or if there's so many things out now that, I mean, really, we are spoiled for choice. You know what I mean? There's just so many great games out that we could be playing, right? And I won't play them all, right? But I have slowly been learning, like with the selling of the 40K stuff. I'll probably sell a bunch of stuff to Holy Diver because, you know, he expressed an interest for some of the stuff I have. So I'll probably do that. And there's a Wild Vic has appeared.
Yeah, I had to do some stuff with my kid. He had some mailing to do, so I had to punch through that nonsense.
Nice.
Well, yeah,
A rare
you know,
Pokemon.
you know how these kids are? They do everything with their phones now, and it's like, I need a real computer. So it's like I'm going to Dad's house. He's got a printer. He's got everything he possibly needs to do this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bruce and I were just sitting here BSing about Hyperborea and thinking Shadow in the end is going to actually really like it. Shadow is, I don't know what Shadow's doing. Nobody knows what Shadow's doing.
Shadow is Shadow.
Yeah, he cannot be, he can't be comprehended by the human mind. It's just like, don't even try. Just freaking, you know, you might as well be trying to understand, you know, Azathoth or Cthulhu or whatever. I mean, it's just like not going to happen. So, but yeah. I have realized that I have put together 12 of these stalker constructs.
I like that. I like what Bruce is doing here. It looks like a shelf of
It's
books.
bookshelf, but it's a pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
But I just realized I've put together 12 of these stalker constructs wrong.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I managed to fit 6 legs on each of them. But according to the rules, they only got 5. Which makes me wonder, well, then why did the set come with all these extra legs?
are
They're
these
mut-
IKEA?
they're
Are they
mut-
who makes this IKEA?
Right? It's like, yeah, I re-looked at the instructions and I started counting the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the am I doing? Okay, let's look at this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 2 of them only have 5, but 1 of them has 6. Great googly moogly. You know what I mean? It's just like, really? Why would you even do that? I don't understand. Well, I know why. Because you're a bunch of mechanicum priests that decided to surf Horus. So you're probably not super bright as far as, whatever. Or whatever, I don't know. So the one I just built it turns out, correct to have the 5 legs.
So I am writing the lovely DaveCon module.
Oh,
I
yeah?
hate isometric maps. I literally hate drawing them. They are a pain in my ass. Because once you get this, you have a perspective of it, and then you're like, oh shit, I can't. This isn't gonna work. I have to do it. I have to do a complete 180 of it, and try to tilt it just a little bit so you get more definition.
Minnesota Internet.
Just no, I hate that.
Ugh. Maps for his adventure groups is probably Professor
DM.
Professor DM's got good maps.
Master. Actually draw the perspective,
Yeah, I've got his email address. I even got his phone number. I could call him if I wanted to.
Dan
Masters.
Yeah. He's a good guy, and apparently he's cancer free, and that makes me really happy.
I don't know if he's coming this year.
First 100 followers ever. And he and I have went back and forth at each other, but he's also called me out on his channel. So, he's been like, oh, it's DM James, and whatever. But man, I'm so jealous of his ability to just draw those 3-dimensional looking maps. And he just does it. It's like he just has a piece of note paper and he just does it. And I'm like, hate you, man.
I know it.
Envy.
Give me a quick call here.
Envy, which is not good. I mean, you got to watch envy or you'll end up being a commie or something. But, I even have the Dungeoneer Survival Guide, and I've tried to print out the right hex paper and everything. And I still have never managed to do it, Bruce.
Okay.
It's just like, it's just that way. You know what I mean? It's like, yep, I keep trying. It don't happen, though. All right, so this guy gets 5 legs, too.
Do you remember back in the late 90s, there was a lady that had been on a show called The Universal Soldier, The Return, and her name is Kiana Tom.
Nope, don't remember that.
A friend of mine just sent me a video of her, and I'm like, holy shit, this is what they stole from us.
Oh.
If I'm talking about women and that comes out of my mouth, we lost a good one. Something
I mean,
happened.
Universal Soldier, wasn't that the one with like the Dutch or the Belgian guy?
Yeah, part 4 I think does. Yes,
Jean-Claude Van Damme or something.
Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren were in the first and
Yeah.
fourth, I think, together.
Yeah, I don't remember caring very much for that movie. I think I liked Soldier much better.
Soldier's a far superior movie.
Yeah, with Kirk Douglas, is it?
Mm-hmm. Kirk Douglas, lady from Gladiators in it. The father figure from Equilibrium is in it.
Yeah, I love when they're like, "What are you going to do?" And Kirk Douglas is like, "I'm going to
I'm
kill
gonna kill them all, sir.
And it's just like, uh-oh. And also, that was Bruce Lee's son, who also didn't he die weirdly too?
I don't know if he died. I didn't know that was Jason.
No. That wasn't Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah, that you're talking about Jason Lee.
He did die during the filming of The Crow.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
The scene where he's standing
Brandon
on the table and the one dude shoots him with the big
Brandon
revolver.
Lee died.
Yeah, that killed him. He died.
Brandon Lee died. Let me
Brandon. Yeah, the guy who was on The Crow. Yeah, apparently there was a tiny little bit of metal or something stuck in the barrel, but it was enough, at that range to like go right through him. And
so Jason Scott Lee is the antagonist in that movie, and he's
Brandon
also in the
Lee.
movie The Dragon.
Yep, I liked Brandon Lee.
I thought he was great.
The couple of films he was in, he was really good in The Crow, though.
The Crow and Rapid Fire are two amazing 90s products. And the Rapid Fire is probably one of my top 20 movies. I'll be dropping that on Janet this next year. Janet is really upset with me because I've started putting boundaries on what movies I'm not going to watch. And basically the only thing with Jack Black I will watch is The Jackal, because Bruce Willis shoots his arm off.
Yeah.
And I can't stand Jack Black.
No,
I don't know what it is.
You probably find him annoying. Because Jack Black strikes me as the kind of guy that you would either have a great time with or just want to strangle yourself the whole time he was there.
I hung out with a friend of mine after 1999. We had our local game store closed down. Never been through this before, kind of heartbroken. So a friend of mine's like, on your days off, just come over to the video store. You can help me out here. So he got free labor. And we were doing a bunch of renovations to the store because it was losing its family video license. And I stumbled into a box of promo stuff. And a lot of the things that were getting promoted in the mid to early 90s, all things with Jack Black, like Neverending Story 3. And
I didn't even know there was a Neverending Story 3.
Yeah. I was given that as part of a gift.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It didn't. Like Final Fantasy 16, no sense at all. So
it's like, wait a minute. What is happening here?
So I was given that as a gift as I left Decatur later on. And then this annoying girlfriend I had at the time, she discovered this bag when I was unloading my stuff in Peoria. She's like, "Oh, my son would love this movie." And she didn't see a giant 3 behind the Neverending Story. So we went back to her place to watch it and get to watch Jack Black overact.
The only thing Jack Black was at all funny in is probably The Pick of Destiny. And even that's really, really pushing it.
I liked him in School of Rock. I don't know.
I guess he wasn't bad in Skull Rock either. But Pick a Destiny, I liked it okay. But what I really liked more than even the movie was the live show. Because Jack Black and Gables, they do a live show that's the Pick a Destiny, but it's all about that last scene where they battle the devil. But it's like there's one where a giant robot comes out on stage and it's the metal, punk rock tried to defeat the metal, but the metal threw him down. And it's just like, it's good. But most of his stuff is just not my bag, baby. It's just not my bag. But it says right here, Swedish Peanuts Pumps by Austin Powers. This sort of thing is my bag, baby. Do you remember that? That was like, oh man. Like, I don't know if I can trust somebody who doesn't like the original Austin Powers movie. It's like, that shit is hilarious.
Austin Powers is good, but Tropic Thunder is fucking superior.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I think you just say things sometimes to get my goat.
I really like Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder is absolutely amazing. Like I was saying the other day, it's got one of the best black actors of all time in it. Kirk Lazarus.
Yeah, Kirk Lazarus should have been fucking Black Panther.
That's who should have been the King of Wakanda. Kirk Lazarus should have played T'Challa. That would have been awesome. I'd been all up for that. Kirk Lazarus is T'Challa. Oh yeah. Even though the guy who played T'Challa, we lost way too soon.
He was in Jackie Robinson, I think, wasn't he?
I don't know, but what I do know is he was just a really good guy.
He seemed like a nice guy, a very sweet man.
He was just a really good guy. I mean, this guy is fighting off and dying from cancer, and he's spending all this time visiting children in cancer, freaking wards and shit. I mean, practically a damn saint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a good guy. And it's too bad that we had to lose him so early, especially since it just straight up killed that whole series, which was mid already.
I wasn't a fan of the movie.
Nah. People liked it because they were living on this weird idea that it was the first Marvel movie with a black lead. And that was so amazing because Blade had came out like 20 years earlier. And I'm sitting here like, come on, man, why you guys doing my bro freaking Wesley Snipes so bad? You know what I'm saying? He's from Orlando, guys. I mean, put some respect on his name, right?
Got to put some hot sauce on the taco.
Right. You got to put some hot sauce on that taco. He was Blade, but not only was he Blade, he was also Simon freaking whatever.
Simon Phoenix from...
Simon Phoenix, one of the best freaking macho movies of all time. Love that movie.
A friend of mine asked me if she should watch Demolition Man before she watched Sucker Punch. And I said, you should never watch Sucker Punch.
Yeah. Demolition Man, my answer would be like, what? You haven't seen that yet? That came out in like the 90s. Fuck, you been living under a rock or something? What are you? A lichen growing on a freaking rock in the middle of the desert?
Fine movie. That's like the Sophia Loren of movies. It just hasn't aged.
Well, I mean, the greatest action movie of all time is obviously and unarguably Predator 1. But Demolition Man is damn close. It's up there.
See, I disagree with that because the script, the pacing.
Yeah, I've heard your arguments, and I've already completely disregarded them as the ravings of a Yankee who don't understand stuff.
Listen, thou shalt not disrespect Big Trouble in Little China, my friend. That is such a good movie because the beginning.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Big Trouble in Little China is a comedy.
It is a
There
comedy.
is action in it, but it's a
There's
comedy.
amazing action in it.
Yes, yes. You'll not hear. I love that movie. It's the top 5. We were talking about the other day with Egg in the Hole. It starts very small and all that shit. Love Big Trouble in Little China. But Predator starts out like your run-of-the-mill military bullshit and then turns into a Cthulhu-style survivor film, like halfway through.
I wouldn't go with Cthulhu-style survival horror. I would say it's a slasher flick.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'll go with that. It's like it starts out with all these badasses running around having their way, and all of a sudden they're being hunted. And it's like, I mean, the way it transitioned over from one movie to another movie was so good. Plus, Big Trouble in Little China, great acting. But Predator, sublime acting from pretty much everyone. Everyone in that movie was just great at their role. Everyone. Even the mean Indian that kept getting arrested and played Billy, that dude was great as Billy.
Okay, he had to have a bodyguard on set for Predator because he would intimidate or even like battery. He would batter his co-stars.
Yeah.
Or worse.
Well, he liked to drink.
What?
He liked to drink.
He loved to drink, and they're in Mexico.
And when he drunk, he liked to fight.
He was a multi-time convicted individual.
Yeah. A very talented man.
Very, very talented. There's another movie he's in called Fort Apache, the Bronx. And
one of my favorite lines in that whole movie is his. And it's like when Schwarzenegger is asking him a question and he's like, there's something out there and I'm afraid.
Okay, I have to ask a question.
And the other guy says, bullshit, man. You ain't afraid of no man. And the Indian just says, there's something out there and it ain't no man. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit. Ask the question, Vic.
Bruce, do you have like a setup sort of like what do I call it? Dwarven Forge? You just got like a whole scenery thing going on over there, or what are you doing?
Okay, this that I'm fucking with right now is actually out of one of the STL file collections from Loot Studios.
Okay. Do you game on a setup like Dwarven Forge or something?
No. I roll out a battle mat. I use markers to draw the terrain, the layouts typically. I wish I had the money for Dwarven Forge.
Oh, well, I know I got a 3D printer. Actually, I got 2 3D printers, and I think James has one too. So
have you looked at
I have a bank of 3D printers and I don't use them at all.
Have you ever looked at Loot Studios, Vic?
No. I don't even use the STLs I have. I mean, I've got so many. I got STL files stacking up that I don't use, and my problem is I work too goddamn much. And if I was like James, I'd have this table behind me. I got a 10-foot long, whatchamacallit table here, and I would have a full setup of something that people could walk around in and move around and stuff like that. So
yeah, I get that. I don't know if you were like Saturday setup.
If you were like James, you would have a couple of low stone walls, maybe 2 or 3 doors, a couple of pillars, and a UDT like Dungeon Professor talked about 5-10 years ago, and that's what you would use because that's what James uses.
I'm telling you right now.
I did at one time do a whole dungeon, and I said, you know what, this sucks. And then I went to a comic shop and saw that WizKids was selling whole dungeon kits, and I bought that. And then I said, this sucks, and gave it to Haas, who I think gave it to his kids. And now, minimalist all the way. I'll
just-
mark where
I
the
roll out a
walls and the corners are. I leave everything else just whatever.
I roll out a map, but I was talking for like a tournament, Dungeons and Dragons tournament.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, if you go to a con and you see some big badass thing, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I do have a friend that has a basement full of this stuff, and I just my
Oh,
back
damn, Doc
bitch.
Flamingo coming in hot.
Oh no, he's back. He's a bitch. Well, okay.
He's like a backstage bitch. Like,
What's going on, gents?
Yeah, you're the backstage bitch, Don.
no, I think he was calling me a bitch for not noticing he was backstage. How you doing, Doc?
Doing okay. I'm doing much better than I had been.
Good.
Finishing up the final touches on my omnibus version of the game, which hopefully that will be up in a week or so.
Nice.
That's good to hear, man. I'm happy to hear that.
And then it's off to the next game project. Woohoo!
Well,
I would say, when are you going to be doing the beta testing for what you're doing?
Oh, we've been running the campaign for a couple months now.
Okay.
It's on my my channel. If anybody wants to check that out. And I decided I was going to do a little short class and level game too, just for the hell of it. And then I have my post-apocalyptic game, and I eventually want to do my science fiction game, although that's going to require a shit ton of research. So,
Oh God, don't even talk about that, Doc. Don't even talk. I'm trying to do gravity. I'm trying to do all this stuff, including space translation and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, there goes Doc.
he's got that cool Northwest Florida internet.
Oh, he's up there in Tallahassee.
No, Tallahassee Center. I think he's more
Pensacola.
like near the Gulf Coast, I think.
hey, your restream hates me.
No,
on other people's
Yeah,
channels for some
Pensacola
reason.
internet we got there, whatever you call it.
It's pretty okay.
Yeah.
But
No,
there's-
Take it
I
personally,
personally might
because
talk
it
on
literally
mine.
hates everyone.
My sci-fi game, and it's sort of a mix between Traveler and I don't. Have you ever read the series? God, what's the name of the guy's name? Anyways, it's a lot of kinetic weapons instead of laser beams and stuff like that
Oh, cool,
in
cool.
a space combat game. Because I'm like, how are you going to generate that much energy to move a laser 10,000 miles across? You know what I mean? This is knife fighting range sort of combat. You know,
Yeah, I kind of like the way Traveler handled the laser weapons. You know, big giant battery pack. You got to be like armored up for it, and
right. But
yeah,
mine,
I like dealing them, like using them for that. They're heavy. They're so heavy support weapons.
mine is like grape shot is for like in close, so you've got kinetic weapons like big, 18-inch shells coming out. You know what I mean? Coming out at you and stuff like that, and missiles. It's missiles are your long range stuff, sort of like.
Oh, you mean for ship weapons? You use
Yeah,
kinetic weapons for ship
weapons.
weapons. You got to be super close range. Then
Right.
you're doing kind of like Age of Sail in space kind of thing, where you're just like
Right. You
ramming up on each other.
It would have to be relatively close range, but
You're within 5,000
on
miles.
how
if
fast
you're
you
gonna
can feed
effectively
up
do anything.
the railgun.
Right.
If you can get that railgun up to a percentage of light speed, even if it's like 2%, you could fire tungsten rail that's no bigger than, say, a javelin
Mhm.
at something, 100,000 kilometers away. And if you hit it, it would explode like a nuclear weapon. That's how much kinetic energy would be transferred. So it would literally just go right through an enemy ship and destroy it.
Yeah. It's God dang it.
I mean, you would
Art
still have to
computers-
have good targeting computers, and if the enemy's, ducking and weaving, it's not going to be easy to hit them.
Oh no,
at that
and that's
range.
why I say everything's knife fighting range. You're right inside. You've got to be right there to shoot them. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're as close as you're talking about, then I mean, by the time you get a targeting resolution on an enemy ship and tell your crew to fire, it hit them. If you've got a railgun that can accelerate something to like 2% the speed of light, it's like if you're under 50,000 K, it's like, all right, fire, boom. You know what I mean?
Well,
But lasers would be the same
here's
way
the
at
thing.
close range. It would
The thing
literally
about
be,
the thing about a railgun, though, James, is the point is that if you're sitting, let's say, outside the solar system, you shoot a railgun at 2% light, and you're aiming it at like a station or a planet. You're going to be, and the station's just slowly orbiting a planet. You know the rate of acceleration, you know everything else. That's going to be fairly easy. But getting in close to like a starship or a battleship that's been moving, like that, comparatively, you're going to have to get into that knife fighting range.
yeah, that is
And
the
that's
issue.
I took
That is the
my
issue, Mike.
inspiration from a game or books called Grimm's War by Jeff Haskell, and there's no lasers except for communication, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it's you're in knife fighting range. You got to be close to get anything going. So, or you got to sneak up on them.
Sneaking up on people in space is an issue, though.
What'd you say?
Sneaking up on people in space is an issue. There's no like stealth out in space really, because anything you're doing that's generating heat, they're going to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, what they did,
Yeah,
they
theoretically,
did in
that's
this
a
thing
fact.
is they ran off batteries. They ran everything off of batteries, went silent, and made a hole in space, and then they can, just drifted in out or whatever, and using, orbital mechanics to get into someplace close enough that they could turn everything back on and start shooting the shit out of stuff.
Yeah, and Traveler at incredibly high tech, they had a black globe generator.
Oh, I remember the black
How it
globe.
worked
That was
is
nasty.
You turned it on, and it just basically created a bubble around your ship that no energy would pass.
Hmm.
So at distance, no one could detect you unless you had a really good sensor operator who was specifically looking for some random anomaly in space where,
Well, see, that's what happens in Grimm's War is that they find they use the computer to scan the horizon and stuff, or scan the stars and everything around them. And if a star disappears in that scanning, it's just sensors that read the stars. If something disappears, then they go, "Uh-oh, here it is. Now we send out a laser beam to see how far that beam goes out really quick. And if that beam only goes 1,000 miles and it stops, like a distance sensor, it goes, yeah, there's something there."
See, I just happened for some unknown reason to have a couple of these on the desk in front of me. In the 2300 Traveler 2300 combat system,
Yeah.
when a ship entered into a system and did an initial scan, you'd put like as many of these as you wanted down.
Uh-huh.
And until the scanner operator actually made the test to look at one of these, it just stayed there. And if you wanted to move them, you could or not. And most of the time, they wouldn't be anything. It would be like sometimes it'd be a false contact, or it'd be just a meteor or some
Oh
shit
yeah,
like that.
asteroids and there's
And
false
sometimes
positives.
it would be an enemy fighter or an enemy carrier or something. So
But
you just never really knew.
in Grimm's War, there was false positives where they were like, okay, we got something anonymously coming through the system. What is it? And then they turn around and it's an asteroid. You know what I mean? They'd have to light up their LiDAR or whatever and go, what is it? And it would show what they were. You know what I mean? And active radar system signatures and stuff like that. And of course, they've got like nowadays where they've got painted holes like on a F-117 where the hole is painted with, black radar absorbing paint and stuff like that. So, I mean, I took a lot of it from modern day stuff, and you're thinking 30, 40 years in the future where your radar signature is a pin drop in you know what I mean, from 1,000 miles away to
Well, I
Yeah.
think something that a lot of people have been led to believe because of Star Wars is that space combat will not be like the Battle for Britain. It will be more like sub combat.
Right.
You'll be in your little metal tube. You won't know what's around you. The sensor guys are going to be working their asses off trying to get resolution on whatever. And then if you do manage to get a target resolution on something, then you're going to be firing things, and you'll probably have weapons just like our modern subs do now, like torpedoes that drift away from you before they actually activate.
Right.
So that the enemy, if they don't see you, won't be able to triangulate
Well,
your position
and then
based
there's
on
going to be,
where a weapon come from.
and if you've read Weber, in his Harrington thing, they're going to be dragging missile packs behind them, or they're going to be on top of the hull where they just eject them and they just go, all right, we're going to litter a system full of these missile packs that are just going to sit there drifting in space, and they're going to be, linked up by satellite so they can go, okay, we're going to fire 10 missiles out of this missile pack and trap somebody and stuff like that.
I was fire director for the MLRS when I was in the Army, and when we fired missiles out of those things, we fired them in the exact opposite direction that they were going, and they'd go like 5 miles and turn around because people's radar is set up to ignore stuff going towards the enemy, because otherwise it would get too confusing. This way, by the time the missiles turned and they picked them up, we could have like moved the vehicles a couple miles.
Right.
Shoot and scoot, baby.
Yep.
Because otherwise they're just like, there. Kill that.
I got to see some of those guys get fired off in Iraq, and it's pretty wild. When you see, it's like I was hanging out on the Bradley, and the little boxy vehicle come ripping up, but it's far away, but still it ripped up, stopped, and that thing went up, and then it's just like, and then the thing goes, and away it went. I was like, okay, all right.
But and Honor Harrington, the Weber series for Honor Harrington.
What I remember about Honor Harrington is they did a lot of broadsides.
Yeah, well, later in the
really
series,
long and just had like rows of weapons.
Right. Well, later in the series, they have these missile packs. They have missile packs where they drop them out of like cargo containers, and they just drop them in a big long line. Like, here, we're gonna drop 40 of these things, and they all got 20 missiles each, and they go into combat, and it's like, okay, here it is. They're drifting in system, and it's suddenly, oh, okay, we're going to light them all up at once. And instead of, you only getting a dozen or 2 dozen missiles coming at you, no, now it's 1,000 coming at you at one time. And it's like, oh, shit. In your comment.
Sorry, I just got drafted. I'll have to check out. I just wanted to drop in and say hi. You guys all have a great day.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to take off too, guys.
All right. I'm ready to
see what the wife is up to and all that sort of thing.
I gotta call the boss lady, find out what she wants.
Yeah. So,
all right.